Lemia, can you check whether
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah, we are really going to be late.
Let's find out Foster what you want to say.
Sorry?
Foster has raised their hand. I want to find out from him what is the issue.
Okay, all right, please. Okay, all right, fine. You ask him. Ask him, and then unmute Foster and let him.
Lion Foster, you can talk.
But he's muted.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay, I was just doing a sound check and I realized my video and some other stuffs were not coming, so I wanted to seek some consent since it was difficult for me to reach members on this Zoom.
Okay, it's been deliberately muted, so that unless you're a panelist, you may not be able to speak unless you are allowed to speak.
So when you raise your hands like this, then it will enable you and then you speak. So when you raise your hands, we enable you and then you talk.
Clear. But I'm not accessing my video. Is it also muted from the...
Yes, videos are out of webinar for attendees.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So it is just going to be a voice. Thank you.
Yes, for attendees, it's going to be their voice. For the panelists, unless you need to do a presentation, then we can enable you as a panelist, and then your video will come and you can do the presentation. But if that's a presentation, if it's a question or attendance, then you will do just a voice. And then those who really do a presentation will have the opportunity of being a panelist, which will have their videos and their voice on.
I believe if the video was permitted, it would have made it more interactive and more fun.
Okay, but we have a limit to the number of videos.
Foster.
Hey,
yes, I'm Jeff. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, sir. When you switch on video, it takes every attendee, every panelist will need higher or faster data to be able to keep up.
Okay.
So, and we are looking at around 100 people. So, if we don't, we'll probably have a lot of breaking network. You know how our internet is.
Yeah.
Maybe at the end of it, we can allow people to see a few words on video after that.
Okay. The way I've gone to Shada and wearing my
we are all dressed though. We are all dressed.
We are good Shada for this way. I don't think this one I
go keep to my bare chested. No.
My bare chested.
No. Keep to the Shada. Because we want to Charlie, we all miss the gathering. No? You know that.
You see.
Okay. Let's get that in. It's 13. So on the low side.
We are now 18. We are now 18.
Yeah, Lion Secretary. Lion Zone Secretary. Hello, Lion.
Yes, Lion.
Can we send WhatsApp messages to all the Lion presidents to get their team on board?
I'm doing so right now.
We can hit we are 20 minutes behind time. And 9 o'clock, our second vice elect will pop into the presentation.
Okay.
But Analytics, now you have all the reports, right? Analytics.
Yes, sir.
Do you have all the reports?
Do you have all the reports? I don't have Greenwich.
No.
Greenwich is not ready. So you go ahead. Once you have.
Go to a platform, no. Okay. click on it. Link click on it.
Please mute yourself, yeah. Please mute yourself. People are having challenges. I also small. Before I was able to type in the ID and then I got access. So I think we may have to tell people what to do.
Where in Ghana do you live, please?
Me?
Yes, sir.
Republic of Ghana. I live in Accra.
Which part of Accra, please?
As I speak, I'm chatting with you from Adabraka.
That is why we those in Tema, we don't have issues, those kind of issues.
Kindly drop a message to your president.
I'm doing that, sir.
Who has not submitted his report?
I'm doing that, sir.
My people, you people nowadays too low. You get small interchange. The whole world is here. Gentlemen, by 7:30, I think we have to go live and start.
8:30.
8:30, sorry. So we said 8. Because we are not getting a lot of money. Let's put this link on the Zone 2 platform. I don't know who is doing that.
I've done that.
And then Charlie, we can move on. Technology. Yeah, 7.
Who is Adam Oklu?
My president, please.
Incoming Greenwich president.
Okay, I think let's find out what we want to ask. It really sounds again. I don't know.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. I've just allowed him.
Okay.
Hello, Adam.
Good morning, Lions.
Good morning, Lion Adam.
Yeah, Lion Albert, I'm surprised you've forgotten my handsome face, but it's all good.
I'll forget your handsome face. Yeah,
yes,
trying to put ourselves together to start. That is why.
Yes, just a little concerned to add to what my charter president earlier asked with regards to having access to the video, to which a response was given. Yes. I only have a concern. Does it mean that the panelists are watching us and we are unable to watch them?
No.
Oh, okay. No. Okay, because
once video is off, everybody is off.
Because since my chapter president has shadowed, I have decided not to shadow, but to lay in the comfort of one corner. So
okay. Enjoy that country. Enjoy that country.
I'm just concerned if I would be seen and I wouldn't know that I'm being seen. That's why.
What are you hiding, Lion President?
Lion Serum, I miss you too.
You did that. You just want me to hear your voice. With the wait. How do we go come? Corona or no corona?
Lion, I miss you too, and I hope. As Lion Serum said, by 8:30 we should start so that some of us can actually. We're using a China. For me, I'm using a China phone, and the battery is very interesting. So.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me listen to Lion Alta also. It really sounds. Thank you very much.
Lion Charles Atta has been unmuted.
Lion Charles, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. I've seen your hands raised.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lion Charles.
No, okay. No, I'm now setting up, so yeah,
okay.
I'm okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. All right.
So we are 23 now. It's 8:25. We are 23. Let's say by 8:30 we are about 30. We can kickstart. What is cast in stone is the 9 o'clock by the second vice district governor.
Yeah.
That one is cast in stone. So what we'll do is that when we start and it's getting to 9 o'clock, wherever we've gotten to so far as the club president's presentation is concerned, we would have to pause and then ask him to come in. When he's done, we can continue with the club president's report and then move on. Okay.
Let's listen to Ernest. The sun is up, please.
Lions.
We serve, Ernest.
I was just greeting you just to try my microphone.
We hear. We are accepting your greetings.
Okay, thank you.
You are in there. Good to see that.
All right. Yes.
Just waiting to get a few attendance here, and then we'll keep rolling. So just bear with us for.
Yes, sir. You're not on the Zoom. Are you on the Zoom?
Lion Atis.
Yes, sir.
Especially, can you please share the program outline on the screen, please? Do you have it? If you don't have it, let me share this one.
Because I think I have it on my phone, but
okay, all right. Enable me to share screen so that I can share what I have.
Oh, you can share.
The co-host, you can share screen.
Okay. Is it on now?
Yes, on.
Okay, go ahead. Lion, what's his name? Lion Chris, is he on standby?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
So get ready. You take us through the Lion's, what do you call it? Prayer and pledge.
Vocation.
Vocation.
So Lion Zone, have you prompted your DG that you are on?
I want to call
or
them.
They are aware that you are going without them.
I want to call
let's just call them and then we'll start.
I want to call them.
8:30 now.
Yes, let me call them now. It's about a minute now. Let me call them.
Yeah.
How many people do we have now?
24.
We have 24 participants.
24.
Yes. 5 attendees, 19 attendees, 5 panelists.
Charlie, hard. That's me.
Even from our home, if you don't want to join, there's some.
Someone. Let me call Lion. Let me unmute myself and speak to the DJ. I'll be back in a second, right? Hello. Hello.
Hello, Lions OJ.
Yes, I've just finished speaking with DG. He will send us his goodwill message, and then as we roll on, we'll read. He's not able to join us for this meeting via Zoom.
Okay.
So I think it's about time. Let's start. I tried calling DGE. I'm not getting through to DGE. We can begin. 8:35. By my time is 1 minute to 8:35. So, the Lion Chris, are you there?
I am.
Okay, all right. So let's get ready to roll, please.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Hold on, Lion Chris. Okay. Good morning, fellow Lions.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's 8:35 a.m. and this meeting is called to order. You're all welcome to this third online Zoom meeting. I think this is the first time we're probably having this kind of meeting. I would like Lion Atix to take us through a few ground rules. If you want to send a question, if you want to raise your hand, what you have to do, and then tell us how people can also connect to us via Facebook and then YouTube. Lion Atix, can you take us through the ground rules?
Thank you, Zone Chair. So, fellow Lions, during the duration of this meeting, you will all be muted unless you are either a panelist or you raise your hand to speak. Now, we'll entreat you to also mute your phones whilst you are given the opportunity to speak. You'll also be required to also have your videos off. In any case, we've already disabled your video and your speaking capabilities until you have the opportunity. If you have a question, you can use the question box and that would be read out. Or you can raise your hand and you'll be allowed to speak. Your speaking abilities will be enabled. There's also the chat box for you to also either send messages directly to people, to a panelist, or to everyone. Then the final thing is the fact that we also share, whilst the meeting is going on, at certain times, we'll share polls for you to answer. At the end of the entire meeting, you are going to receive a survey or an evaluation in your email, via email, so you can also do that. Now, I'll share a link for YouTube and Facebook. So for those who will not be able to join the call, they will join us via those platforms. And when they ask the questions on the comment slot or comment parts of either Facebook or YouTube, we'll be able to get them answered on the main platform. So thank you very much, Zone Chair, and thank you very much, all Lions. I hope that you enjoy this Zoom meeting, this virtual Zoom meeting.
Thank you very much, Lion Christopher Papa Kondia, incoming president for Accra Metro, kindly lead us in the vocation of the Lion's Prayer and Pledge. And for those of you, I'm sharing the screen. So this is the Lion's Prayer and the Lion's Pledge. So Lion Chris, please.
Thank you very much, Zone Chair. And good morning, fellow Lions. Wherever we find ourselves, we may take the Lion's Prayer and the Pledge. And so we'll start with the Lion's Prayer for the vocation. And please read wherever you are, whether you're a panelist or an attendee. Lion's Prayer. When I attend my Lion's Prayer and break bread at the table, I give a million thanks to God, know that I'm able to meet there with my fellow man. Relax, play, and sing, to hear the speakers of the day, the fine thoughts that they bring. I realize I have a part to carry on the line and also
Also,
the
also the underprivileged.
Let's keep them
Let's
all
keep them all in mind.
now as we
Now,
pass
as
through our daily
daily
tasks.
tasks,
Pray God
pray
will
God will build them
greatly
greatly
and
and
liberty,
liberty,
intelligence,
intelligence.
be our nation's
Be our
safety.
nation's
Lions,
we serve.
Leos, the Lions pledge. I pledge allegiance to my country
my country,
and the cause of
and
peace
the cause of peace throughout the world.
I believe in the
I
principles
believe in
of
the principles of
pluralism as contained in the Lions Code of
as
Ethics.
contained in the Lion Code of
I'm
Ethics.
proud to be a lion,
Proud to be a lion,
dedicated to the service of others.
dedicated to the service of others.
Lions,
We serve.
Leos. Thank you very much, Zoche.
All right, thank you very much, Lion Christopher Papa Kundia of Accra, incoming president of Accra Metro. Fellow Lions, on behalf of my planning committee, I wish to welcome you all once again to this first ever online Zoom meeting. As you recall, at our last Zoom meeting, by joint Zoom meeting we held in Kumasi, we're supposed to have our third Zoom meeting on the 18th of April. The venue was supposed to be in Takrady, then almighty Corona pandemic just reared its ugly head, and so the DG actually cancelled third Zoom meeting. But then, upon a meeting with the area leader, we were tasked to try and organize this meeting online. So that's where we are now. And so, the fiscal meeting did not come on, but we are doing this to represent. Okay. I'd like to give you a brief background on, especially our incoming officers, on the importance of the District Governor Advisory Committee meeting. And so therefore, let me share the screen with you. First of all, this is the, let me try and share the district structure with you. One moment, please. Okay, so this is a district cabinet structure, all right? And then if you come here, where we have the region chairpersons, in our district 418, we do not have region chairpersons for now, but the zone chairpersons are here, at where the region chairpersons are supposed to be. And if you come down a little, you see this black box, that's the District Governor Advisory Committee. And so it's one of the key committees for the district. I'll also share with you where the Constitution talks about, the district Constitution talks about the District Governor Advisory Committee meetings. So let me also share that one with you. Okay. So this is the district Article 4, the district standard district constitution and bylaws, LA4. You would realize that this is where it is, district committees. Section 1 talks about the District Governance Advisory Committee. And it goes ahead to say that each zone, the zone chairperson and the president, first vice president, and secretary of the club in the zone, they are composed a District Governance Advisory Committee with a zone chairperson as chairperson, all right? And it goes further to say that at a date, time, and place called by the zone chairperson, this committee shall hold a first meeting within 90 days after the adjournment of the preceding international convention, a second meeting in the month of November, a third meeting in the month of February or March, and a fourth meeting approximately 30 days before the multiple district convention. The club service chairperson, club marketing communications chairperson, And then the club membership chairperson should attend when information is shared that relate to their position. It shall assist the zone chairpersons in an advisory capacity, procure recommendations affecting the welfare of Lionism and the clubs in the zone, and relay the same information to the zone chairperson to the district governor and his or her cabinet. So this is where the district advisory committee meeting gets its powers from. So it's one of the foremost committees in the district. Actually made up of the president, the vice president, and of course the secretary. But when we say Zoom meetings, we want to bring on board all the other club officers and members so that they all learn together and acquire experience as we move on. We want to ensure a smooth transition. We want people, other members of the clubs to also learn. That is why we do a Zoom meeting, we bring on board all other members. But ideally, the District Governor Advisory Committee meeting is a meeting of the presidents, the vice presidents, and of course the secretaries of all the clubs within the zone. And it's important that members try and participate within the zone. Now, what have we done in the past? On September 7th, 2019, we held our first zone meeting at MAPS, what was the place? Atomic Energy, what's the name of the place? School of Nuclear and Applied Sciences, NAS. And the meeting focused on service. And so we had opportunity to talk through the service journey, and then all the clubs aligned their service activities for the year. And then we interacted about challenges, a few challenges and opportunities. And then we brought that meeting to a close. That report has been sent to the district and international. Fast forward to January 18th, we also had our second zone meeting, which was a joint one in Kumasi, and it was centered on membership. All the clubs presented their membership goals, what they've been able to do so far, and during the course of time, we would outline what we have done so far as membership is concerned as a zone. And you realize that we still have a lot of work to do. And so there's a lot of responsibility on the incoming presidents to try and help us achieve our goals, our membership goals for the zone, as our contribution to the overall district goals, so far as membership is concerned. So our third zone meeting, which is what we are having now, is centered on leadership. And so today we'll have our second vice district governor-elect, who is our GLT coordinator, Global Leadership Team District Coordinator, speak to us on ensuring a smooth transition from the outgoing to the incoming, and what we have to do to ensure that the transition is smooth, all the reports are covered, and what have you. So in essence, that's the background of what this zone meeting is about and what we've been able to do in the past. Over time, I would like to get suggestions from you as to what we did that you thought or you think we should be able to do better. You can put your questions and suggestions in the chat box, and then we would read it and then respond if we have to. Okay. All right. So without wasting my time, I want us to move us to Lion Artist. Kindly move us to the online discussion of club status reports. And so we can begin with Accra Golden Lions Club. It's about 15 minutes to 8. Our second vice district governor will join us exactly at 9, and that is cast in stone. And so when we start, if we do about 3 claps and it's about 9, we will skip, we will pause or suspend this particular section of the program, and then allow the second vice district governor-elect to come in, do his presentation, and then we can continue with the rest of the clubs. Are we okay? All right, so Lion Artist, respectfully, can you please show on the screen the report by Accra Golding, please.
So I'm just going to scroll through.
Okay, so I'm coming. We'll just, one moment, please. Okay, so let's start from the top. Let's start from the top, please.
Where should we start from?
Let's start from the top. Please go. It's about 5 now, so okay, so that's fine. Membership.
Should I enable the club president to?
Please do, yeah.
Okay. So Lion Zoncha, you can go ahead.
Lion, Jennifer Dodumensa, are you there?
Yes, please, I'm here.
Good morning and welcome to our meeting.
Good morning, thank you.
All right, so this is your report.
Yes, please.
I realize that over the period you started your membership. You opened your membership with 49, and
yes, please.
Okay. So there's a net growth of -1.
Yes, please.
When we started the year, the district governor expected all the zones to contribute. So our district governor wanted to move up from the 631 or so the district to 1,000. So he wanted all the districts, all the zones, to try and contribute about 100 membership to the district. What it meant was that the 5 clubs that we had, everyone was supposed to give us about 20. You rather reduce by -1. What happened? What's the challenge there?
We didn't reduce. Lion Shaibu had to move to Kumasi, so we had to do his transfer to the Kumasi club. That's why it's reduced by 1.
But you did not add on any new members, did you?
No, we have our perspectives and we are yet to do the induction. We'll be doing it on Saturday, coming Saturday, Sunday, 21st of June.
Okay, so you have 8 perspectives.
Yes, please.
Okay, all right. LCIF, I realize you have 1 addition to your number.
Yes, please. We had Lion Francis, one of our new Lions. He's our incoming treasurer.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes.
Congratulations. Lions is move on. And then you have campaign 100. You have 2,250.
Yes, please.
Okay, so net good of 1,450. That's good. Leo clubs.
New clubs. We have Accra Ubuntu being headed by IPP, Lion Serum.
No, we are talking about Leo clubs. Leo clubs.
Sorry. Leo clubs, we have Laboni and then Ashesi. With the Laboni Alpha, unfortunately, I couldn't get the figures, but we also have them online.
Okay, let me say something for the Leo club. See, you have most of the Leo clubs are sponsored by you. You have Laboni Leo club, Ashesi, and Laboni Alpha Leo club.
Yes, please.
At the meeting we had with the area leader, it was reported that only 30% of Leo clubs are reporting. Can you please encourage your Leo club advisor for your club to please ensure that the Leo clubs do their reporting? When they do their activities, they do their reporting. I mean, it was very bad that the clubs were doing very well so far as reporting was concerned, but the Leo clubs were not doing very well. Only 30% did their reports.
Well,
So
well noted.
all right.
Yes,
please roll on. Okay, international and district dues. You have an amount of 575 outstanding.
Yes, please.
When is it going to be paid, please?
We are working towards that.
Okay.
We are hoping before the our year ends, but we've been able to clear these so far, so it will take a little while, but we are hoping to do it as soon as possible.
Okay. Now, district dues, you realize that second semester 4,900, brought forward was 8,350, total was 13,150, and you've paid 12,000, and you're saying you have a credit of 1,003. Once you paid,
actually, the district refunded the district dues, the 2,000, is it 2001 something? So when we do our subtractions, we owe 1,000, right?
Yes.
From the 12,000, we owe 1,150. So when we do our subtractions, we should have roughly about 1,003 credits.
Oh, okay.
So when the refund that was done, if the calculations are corrected, that's what we should have.
Is it a refund for the district convention?
Yes, please.
Okay,
yes,
all right.
please.
And you don't have any money at the bank, no cash in hand?
No, please, because we had to pay for our dues as soon as possible. So we had to clear, yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes,
please. Service projects, please. So you did 16 projects out.
Yes, this data is from LCI. We took it off directly from LCI.
Okay.
We have 16, and then the number of persons served. Yes, we were unable to continue from the environment activity onwards because of the unfortunate incident of the pandemic. But we are going to use our last social meeting for our induction and then the charter night. So that would round up our year 2019-2020.
Okay, what about the source of funding? You have those figures, right? Externalized.
No, please. It's been random. It hasn't been consistent. So we really do not have a total of those figures.
Okay,
yes,
please. Lab extension, please. Okay, so you said you have Accra Ubuntu 32.
Yes, please.
Okay.
They are currently meeting online, and it's headed by IPP Lion Serum. Okay. And there are about 32 lions, prospective lions, a mixture of former Leos, actually.
Is it the plan that they will come on board before the end of the service year?
No.
The next service year.
Lion Serum.
Next service year.
Next service year, please.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Quickly,
yes,
leadership, you've done ELLI 5, this thing, RLI 3, ELLI 4. That is very impressive. Congratulations. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
Let's move on to club operations. Club officers training, you said you've done one. Who was the facilitator? No.
We had one yesterday with our Lion Albert, our membership chair, heading that one for the incoming incoming executives.
Okay. And yes, club quality improvement, you've done 3 times, Lion and Nehemiah.
Yes, we do it before every zone meeting, and Lion Nehemiah has been heading it for us.
Okay. And then Maclama with Lion Charles Dunson. Okay.
Yes, please.
So it looks as if incoming president wants to look at the blueprint for a stronger club.
Yes,
which will change very soon to a new name. And then, of course, the best practice in financial transparency and then dispute resolution procedure.
Yes, please. Those 3 will be taken care of.
You should take it up. Now, please, kindly move on, please. Challenges and opportunities, members' inability to redeem their financial obligation on time. poor attendance to meetings. Okay, so poor attendance to meetings. Now, if they can't meet physically, you do a Zoom. You do an online, right?
Yes.
Opportunities none.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Lion Jennifer Dodumensa. I think you're running very fast. It's getting close to 9. Let's find out. Lion, let's find out whether what do you call it? Our second vice district governor elect wants to come on board, and then we'll see what to do. All right. Because
thank you very much.
We can let go.
Lions chair. Lions chair.
Yes, Lion, okay, please.
Yes, I have a few hands raised. I want to find out what is the challenges.
Okay, please do
Lion
that.
John.
9, yes.
Lion John. If you can enroll Lion John for me, I want to find out what the issue is. Lion John. Lion John.
Okay. Can you move on to the next person, please?
Okay. I think it's only one, Lion John, and I'm not getting through to him, so we can move on.
All right. Okay. It's 19. Can we find out?
Zone Chair, there was
Yes.
a question. What was the zone required to have 4 meetings?
The last Zoom meeting is not mandatory. All right. It's a meeting for appreciation of those who have done well for you in the zone or whatever. The 3 Zoom meetings are compulsory. The service, membership, and leadership, those are compulsory. It has to be done. The 4th one is optional. Okay. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's 9 o'clock. Let's see if we can get on board our what do you call it? A second vice district governor elect, so that he starts his presentation. We'll continue with the club reports after he's done, please.
I cannot see.
You cannot see him. Let me unmute myself and then try and see if I can get him on board. Or can somebody call him? Because he said he'll be on board at 9 a.m. exactly. I do not want a situation where he will try to get on board and he will be having challenges and all that. Who can do the background thing for me? Who can be speaking with him in the background, please?
Last secretary should call him and let's find out what is happening. Last secretary should call him and let's find out what's happening.
Last, can you try calling him and then let's see what happens? Okay. Whilst doing that, maybe we can start with the next. Once he comes on board, we can move on.
Last one, Chair.
Yes.
Hello. I don't have his contact. Moreover, I'm also trying to put the minutes together as we are going on. So, if you can have someone
I'll
do that.
send his contact to you via WhatsApp right now, so that you can get in touch with him behind the scene for me.
Okay, right? Don't Chair, let me do that one for him whilst we work on his minutes.
Okay. All right. At his scanning role, the report for Accra Metro.
Accra Metro.
Yes.
It's
I've shared with you.
Okay, Lions Chair. I have.
This is for Accra Metro, right?
Yes, is Lion Sandra on the call?
No, I think Lion Christopher Papakundia will do the presentation.
Okay.
Lion Chris, are you ready?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay, all right. I do not think that is this for Accra Metro? Okay, Accra Metro. All right.
This is Accra Metro.
Can you hold on a minute?
No,
let me just...
Line Artics. I think we may be using a different report. Kindly check.
This is what was sent.
Oh, there's a revised version I sent. Please.
Is this via WhatsApp? Via WhatsApp or
No. Email.
Email.
Yes.
Okay.
Lion Chris, is there a problem?
Yes, the net growth, the revised version I sent had the net growth in absolute. What we're seeing earlier
You the
were
one
in
with Lion.
percentages. Yeah.
Have you shared that one with Lion?
Yes, I have. Yes.
Okay, so he's trying to retrieve that one, right?
Yes, please. Yes.
Lion Chris.
Yes, sir.
Can you share it from your
Okay.
Yeah, so that we don't have to delay the entire process.
All right.
Okay, so I just spoke to the Lion second vice district governor elect. He's going to join us soon. He will join us in the next 5 minutes or so. All right, so we can go ahead with this one when he comes on board and drop.
Okay. So, Liaison Chair, I'm sharing my screen. Currently, we are seeing the report for Accra Metro Lions Club.
All right. So you started with 30 and you are now at 25.
Yes, please.
So the net growth is -5, but that includes that also takes into account
the club branch membership, which when we started in June, we added about 10 of them, about 8 of them, and then as we moved along the line, we also had our own Accra Metro's new member entrance. So by the end of April, we had transferred all the Accra Metro members to the club branch members to now Accra Phoenix Lions Club.
Okay.
So the natural growth for Accra Metro was 5 for the period. However, due to the transfers, we've recorded a negative growth of 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also realized that your number of females only 2. Let's bring in more females, huh?
Okay. Okay, Lions Chair. We'll work on attracting
prospective members. You are 11 now, right?
Yes, please. We have 11.
These 11.
Prospective.
We need the numbers. When are we inducting these 11?
So we are hoping that out of the 11, some of them will come on board in July. So we've scheduled an orientation, a Zoom orientation for the PLs at the end of this month, towards the end of this month. And by the end of the training, we're hoping that some of them, if not all, can come on board in July when the new service year begins. So that's the plan for the PLs at the moment.
And can be 100, only $200.
Yes. So we have 2 members who are contributing to the campaign 100, and we know that it will be credited to the MJF. So it's in process. We have two members of Accra Metro who are currently enrolled in the Campaign 100 program. We hope that we can bring more members. We can encourage them to contribute towards the LCIF. And then, as we know, it will be a journey towards the MJF.
Okay, all right. Move on to your class, please. Okay, so there are about 70. The last time I checked, this we're supposed to induct all these new members for Accra City Leo Club. Has this induction been done?
Okay, the induction hasn't been done yet. In fact, we had a program scheduled for March. However, the COVID-19 restrictions and lockdowns have affected the program that we had for the Accra City Leo Club, which is a campus-based club at the Accra Technical University. So currently, the induction is on hold. We haven't been able to progress from there yet. But now we have a Leo advisor appointed by the club in the person of Lion Efia Nyako, Dr. Efia Nyako, who would be working closely with them and then put forward a solid program for the induction of the Accra City Leo Club members.
Okay, please move on. Okay, finances. All international deals paid, correct?
Yes, please.
Okay. Are you saying District 418 owes you a refund?
Yes, sir. I think this is also what the Lion Jennifer also mentioned of the refund from the convention levy for that we paid last year. So we are hoping that once the refund is officially communicated to us, we won't have any outstanding amount for the district dues of 1,500.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Please try and sort it out with the district treasurer.
Okay, very well, sir.
All right. Okay, so cash in hand, 1,185. And then 200 is in activity accounts. I realize that, do you have a bank account?
We are yet to open one. We are working on getting an official bank account for the club, please.
No good. All right, move on. Service projects. So was this taken from my LCI, this date?
Yes, please. It was taken directly from the my LCI.
My Lion.
Online reporting page. Yes, please. So, in fact, as at the last time.
Hello.
Please go ahead.
As at the last time we reported at the zone meeting in January.
Okay. Lion, hold on, Lion Chris. Do we have on board Lion Emmanuel Kojojima, please? Hello.
Yes, he's the one who just said hello.
Okay, all right. Can
yes.
you just wait for a minute once we run? Once we started this, let's just finish, and then we can ask him to come on board. Just about a minute. Okay, Lion Chris,
yes. So before the COVID-19 restrictions, we had undertaken 5 solid activities. Due to social distancing and restrictions, we haven't been able to have any new activity undertaken this year. So we are working out a program for the next service year to see how best we can maintain the social distancing protocol at the same time be able to perform our service activities.
You only did 5 activities.
We did 5 activities, yes, please.
Okay, please move on. Okay, please keep this. Move on to the leadership.
So, club extension, we have been able to charter Accra Phoenix Lions Club And we are also working on bringing on board a new Lions Club within the Achimota enclave. So this is a new project that we are taking up for the new service year. So work is ongoing, and I'll entreat members who have relative friends, acquaintances within the Achimota enclaves to please link them up to us to work quickly towards bringing Achimota Lions Club on board by the end of the service year.
Okay.
The new service year, please.
Okay. So this is for ELLI. Okay, we are aware of the postponement and all that. Okay. Please move on. So club officer training, you've had one. Yes. Okay, the one. And then club quality initiative. So you have these ones, the blueprint for a stronger club, which is going to change soon. My club, with all these ones, you try and get it done during your term.
Okay, very well.
Challenges and opportunities. What are the challenges?
So as similar to other Lions Club, we payment of dues is a major challenge. We are happy that the Lions Club International has given some kind of relief to Lions clubs for dues payment. However, that doesn't negate our obligation to the club in terms of dues payment. So we'll also pursue other ways of other means of getting members to pay their dues on time. And we also see that the COVID-19 has impacted on our service activities. And as I mentioned earlier, we're working on finding modalities for effective service delivery without putting members at risk. So those are some of the things that we are considering. We are happy that the social media and Zoom conference facility that the zone has purchased would help us to host some of our meetings, club meetings and training meetings for members. So currently these are some of the challenges and then opportunities that we see that will help us to resolve our difficulties and constraints. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lion Prince Papa Kondia. Lion Artists, can you share, bring on board our second Vice District Governor-elect, Lion Emmanuel Kojojima, and then let's share his presentation screen, the latest one that I shared with you, please. Good morning, Lion Emmanuel Kojojima. Are you with us?
Hello.
Hi, good morning, Lion Emmanuel Kojojima.
Fellow Lions, good morning. Today we'll be looking first slide, please. Thank you. Yeah, I've seen the first slide. Next slide, please. Today we'll be looking at ensuring smooth transition for club members. I am Lion Emmanuel Kojojima, a past zone chairman and district GLT coordinator. Now, the section objective, next slide, session objective for today. We're going to have an overview of the standard club structure, list reports expected from outgoing board, and identify training and resources required for the incoming board. Next slide. Now, on the screen now, we have the standard club structure. Now, if you look at it, at the top end, you would see some offices, and then you would see another quadrant, or let's say a square to our right-hand side. Now, over there, you are seeing the president, the first vice president, the membership chairperson, and the service chairperson. Now, this forms what we refer to as the GAT team. And in the club, it will be led by the president of the club. Now, some clubs may not have enough members. However, International recommends that at least you have 7 members occupying these key positions. We're looking at the secretary, the treasurer, the marketing communication chairperson, the first vice president, the membership chairperson, the service chairperson, and the president. Some people refer to this team as the Magnificent Seven. They should exist so that the club would be run effectively. Now, fellow Lions, you can get the functions or the duties of these officers from Article 3 of the Standard Club Constitution and Bylaws. Now, it's so simple. You just go to www.lionsclubs.org, then you go to the Resource Center and you key the resources for members and you put in article, the Standard Club Constitution and Bylaws, and all those would appear. Next slide, please. Now, having obtained or known what are your duties and functions, and haven't come out with your executives, I believe all of you have done your elections already. By now, you should have reported to LCI the following. Now, you should provide the club member, the club number, sorry, the name of the club, the country, and the club mailing address. Now, the name and address included emails of the following: the president, the first vice president, the second vice president, the treasurer, secretary, membership chairperson, club LCIF coordinator, club service chairperson, club marketing communication chairperson, and the club administrator. Next slide, please. Now, form could be in the form of a paper, or you could do that electronically. Now, if you're doing a paper form where you print out and complete, it should be signed by the club president or secretary, and it should be mailed to the address shown over there. That's Lions Clubs International. Alternatively, and I believe that that is what most people in Ghana are doing now, you send it by my LCI of the executives that we mentioned already. Next slide. Fellow Lions, now let us consider the reports from outgoing board. What are these reports that they should have been produced or provide? Service activities report status, the membership goals status, in recruitment and leadership goals, LCI contribution, campaign, that is for campaign 100 and MJF. Then disputes, if any, and their status and audited accounts. Now, for the service reports, each club will service year 1st July 2019 to 30th $2020 to service, that's the man hours. We have to report. Yes.
You were breaking, so can you take that again?
Okay, so let's go back. We're talking about the service activities report. And we're saying that each club would have to report on the following for the service year 1st July 2019 to 30th June 2020. And you need to report 1, the number of people served. 2, service activities completed. And 3, volunteers or man hours. The 4th being the funds you have donated. And this should be reported for all the 5 focus areas, namely diabetes, environment, childhood cancer, hunger relief, vision, as well as a column for the others. So all other activities that are not classified under these 5 that we've mentioned could be grouped under others. Next, we're looking at the membership goal status, and that would consist of recruitment you've made, retention, development, and satisfaction. And you'll be considering the following: the opening balance, that's the number of members you had at the beginning, added members, members you have added, then dropped members, then the closing balance. And thereafter, you would see whether you've made a net gain or a net loss. That is comparing the closing balance to the beginning balance. If the closing balance is higher than the balance, then we say you've where the closing balance is. The next goal status. Now here we're going to consider the institutes that you've attended, and it could be 1, LCIP, which is the Lion Certified Instructor Program, or FDI, which is Faculty Development Institute, ALI, which is Advanced Lions Leadership Institute, and ELLI, which is Emerging Lions Leadership Institute. The webinars that you've attended, the Lions Learning Center that have been visited, and courses taken when you visit, and then certified guiding lion training or courses that you have undertaken. Now, where the disputes, if any, and whether the club has been able to resolve those disputes. Next, hello, we get the next slide. Yes. Audited accounts. Now, with the audited accounts, we're going to look at the financial report, and that should include the opening balance. Opening balance for each account. Now, each club is expected to have an administrative as well as an activity account. Now, Vero Lions, we are not supposed to mix the two. The administrative account is for what we collect as members, the dues we pay, or any levies that we so decide to levy ourselves and pay, we can pay that into the administrative account. However, the activity account is meant for funds we collect from the general public. Please let us not mix up the two. Now, number 2, we have to consider all incomes, the amount and source of the income. 3, all expenditures, all payments made which were approved, and the emphasis is which were approved by the board of directors. And lastly, we look at the ending balance. That's the final amount provided will be the opening account for the following month or service year if prepared at the end of the year. Now here I pause to ask ourselves a question. This audited account should be prepared at the end of each month. Fellow Lions, let us assess ourselves and ask ourselves, are we doing this? Are we preparing this? And will our clubs pass the test if we ask whether we do this monthly? Can we see the next slide, please? Right. training and resources required for incoming board. We're looking at the swearing in and installation ceremony. A date should be set and plan. We should plan and organize this activity. Now, officers, club officers training, president, secretary, treasurers, and other officers should be trained. And we also would have to consider the ABC of Lionism. Now, this is a little brochure that I authored in 2010 when I was the zone chairman. And it has a lot of information that I can share with members. Now, the A stands for appreciation. Now, it takes us back to our code of ethics. That is to be careful with our criticisms and liberal with our praises, to build up and not destroy. Fellow Lions, we need to consider giving out the following: pins, certificates, cards, plaques, and tickets to concerts or movies by showing appreciation to fellow Lions for what they've done. And that makes them happy and makes them eager to do more. Fellow Lions, I would take this opportunity to say a big thank you to all the delegates and all Lions who elected me as the second vice president for 2020-2021 Lion Service year. Thank you once again. However, on a low key or a low point, on the 4th of June was my birthday, and only Accra Premier Lions Club, that's my club, and defunct Sankofa Leo Club wished me a happy birthday. All the other clubs, including District Cabinet, none of them wished me a happy birthday, although I had mentioned my date of birth in my CV, which I posted as part of my profile during the recent elections. Fellow Lions, this was at the time I was putting these slides together, and you can imagine how motivating or demotivating this was. I would say that this should never happen, not to me as Emmanuel Kojojima, but to any other member. We should remain as a family, and there shouldn't be anything like animal farm or apartheid. We are together and we should stay together. However, in the interest of Lionism, I say you've all been forgiven. Go and sin no more. B is for belonging. Now, we should show friendship, like I already said, and there should be a body system. Now, when we talk about body system, we're talking about ensuring that you have somebody that you pair up with. And this would ensure that if the person is not coming to a meeting, you can call and find out. We need to support one another. And fellow Lions, one other thing that we've not been doing is business and job. As Lions, we need to be providing job opportunities for ourselves. We should be networking. And we should be able to assign roles and responsibility to ourselves. The C stands for commitment. Now, we should be attending meetings and attend activities, prompt payment of our dues. Fellow Lions, we should remember that service is not a duty or a responsibility. It is a calling. Again, it's not a responsibility. It is a calling. Now, fellow Lions, if we can go back and look at the slides, the last slide, which talks about resources. Can we look at the slide which talks about resources?
Lion, let me please, the slides. Continue sharing screen, please.
Sorry, I think the PowerPoint.
There is one which talks about.
I'm opening it again.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Right. Okay, if we're not getting, let me continue. Resources,
okay.
we have to look at the standard club constitution and bylaws. That is Article 3 of that. And then the club membership chairperson ebook, the club president, club first vice president ebook, certified guiding lion workbook. Yes, now we have it there. Thanks. Then best practices for financial transparency and club dispute resolution procedure. Thank you, fellow Lions. Next slide. Thank you. Next slide, questions. Fellow Lions, if anybody has any question, kindly let us have your question.
Lion, can I look
you
at
may have sent something to the chat room. Yes.
And those who have raised their hands, we can ask those who have raised their hands to come in first, and then we can read out the questions as well.
Okay, so let me
all right.
Let me go to.
Okay,
so the first person is Lion Theo from Garden City.
Yeah, Lion Theo, let's hear you.
Can you unmute Lion Theo, please? Lion Theo, your line is very, very bad.
Thank you, Angela.
Yes, now I can hear you. Go ahead. Yes.
Hello, sorry. Is it better now?
Yeah, you're sounding better
okay,
now.
So,
go ahead, we can hear you.
I think on behalf of my club, we want to say, we are saying that on behalf of Kumasi Garden City, we are so apologetic of this, which should never have happened. I think as part of our growing process or the growth process, we would also want to ensure that we strengthen the body system and ensure that all bodies keep the birth dates of their bodies in mind. And you recall that the district platform takes about 26 people. And so maybe not all Lions in Ghana that are on the platform. Away from that, I think now moving to cabinet, or you are in cabinet already because you were a GLT. So we are praying the cabinet secretary to take some of these responsibilities at a high level. We can do the same. But we thank you for not holding it onto your chest. And
okay, the next person is
the gist of your yes. Top line is.
Who is the next person, please?
Lion Frank Aivo.
Okay.
Hello.
You're welcome, Lion Frank. Please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Good morning, fellow Lions, and good morning, Lion Jima.
Good morning.
Belated happy birthday.
Thank you.
And a great presentation. Quickly, I just wanted to take a quick clarification on the difference between the role of the club administrator and that of the club secretary. Am I true?
Yeah, true. I was expecting a response from Lion Jima.
Right,
Lion Jima, can you hear him? Can we get your response, please? Lion Jima, please.
The line is frozen at its end.
It is.
Okay. All right. When we talk of a club, Adam's too good. Yes, I'm saying that a club take the minutes, as we know, but the new one. Hello, are we there?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm saying that the club secretary will, where the club secretary or president are not very functional when it comes to ICT, or puts the club with getting the records done, getting the ICT work, and especially in this age of COVID-19, you need a lot of ICT work to be done. And that is where you get your club administrator coming in handy.
So basically,
are you okay with
somebody there to coordinate our virtual meetings and reporting for that matter.
Yeah, not only the virtual, but it could also be, I mean, face-to-face meetings and all other things. Yes.
All right.
And also helping with uploading information onto my LC, especially with clubs that do not have what do you call it, secretaries and president who are very confident with navigating through my LCI and all that. That's where the club administrator comes in.
That is well
Some people may genuinely have a challenge, you see, with getting the ICT done. Okay, and we're supposed to encourage everybody to come on board. So if you have a challenge, you should not be afraid. You should be able to contact your club administrator to come in and assist. Thanks.
That's great.
Next question, please.
Lion Ni Ado Mensa. Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Happy belated, Larry Manuel.
Yeah, thank you.
I believe according to we have to give you a bottle of whiskey, at least just to say we are sorry.
Okay, right. Ebo would take that one for me.
Okay. You said the financials need to be audited at least once every month.
Yes.
I don't know how feasible or how that can be.
Now we're saying that it has to be prepared every month.
But not audited.
It has to be prepared every month. No, audited at the end of the year. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
But when you prepare it, it is assumed that it is supposed to be correct. Okay. Monthly, we call that management accounts. Okay. When it comes to the business world, we say it's a management account that you are doing. But the management account should not deviate from the final. Okay. You should not say that because you are doing it monthly, you put in any figures and anything over there. And as I itemize, it should follow the 4. Your the incomes that you received, all the salary have to be up, and then your closing. Anybody with any other question? Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
Now, if we don't have any questions, can the chat room look at the various questions that have been brought there? Then we lump them together.
Hello, Larry Emmanuel. Hello, Larry Emmanuel.
Yes. Lion Niado is not finished. So Lion Niado, can you please conclude your question?
Yes, please. Okay, so now, does it mean that each club needs to have an auditor who do this function, who do the auditing function?
Yes, at the end of the year, there should be somebody to audit the accounts, yes.
Okay. Are there any timelines which has been proposed by LCI, the timelines in which everybody has to present his audited account? Or is it just open?
Well, ideally, by the end of the financial year, or I mean, not more than 15 days thereafter, you should, there are no strict timelines, but financial prudence should ensure that you yourself, the treasurer, the club president, should put things down, let everybody know that everything is being clean. It's in your own interest to do that.
Okay, thank you so much. So,
welcome.
Okay, so Lion Adam Oklu Anipa.
Yes, good morning, Lion, second district governor-elect, and congratulations on your election.
Thank you.
Let me also share in the chorus of the apologies by apologizing for inability to wish you. We're just praying that after the restrictions are lifted, you organize a beautiful teaming and invite all of us to come and then be merry. Yes, Lion, second district governor. With regards to the financial accounting, as in the reporting on the monthly basis, can we do it rather on a quarterly basis? Would that also
no problem?
be prudent?
No problem. You can do it on a quarterly basis. It's not a problem.
Okay.
Where you do not have much transaction coming in, let's say at the end of the month, you haven't received anything. You could just say nothing has changed and do it quarterly. No problem.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Lion Tio has his hand up again.
I think we may let's do it after Lion Tio. Let's go to the questions and answers, please.
Okay. So at the question and answers, the first question we have is, what should the content of the report or disputes be? This is from Lion John Yao Agbozalu.
Okay. Right. So when it comes to the disputes, now say you have a grievance, you have an issue, you need to write and submit that to the district governor. Or if it is your club, you submit it to your club. And set up a committee to look at it. Now, if we go to the district club district resolution procedure, you will see that there are step by step. It has to be written. There's a time period that the district governor or the club president would have to come in and say that, yes, we've received, we have this committee, it is chaired, and tell you that they're not happy. There is an avenue for you to come and say that, look, I'm not too happy with this person who is going to chair, okay, all these persons who are going to be on that committee. However, that would be at the discretion of the district governor to see whether whatever you are saying, in fact, hold. He may or may not accept it, and then the procedure would go on. But at the end of the day, fairness is what we are all looking at. So if you go back and look at the club dispute resolution, unfortunately, time will not allow me to take you through that. You would then understand that LCI has set up a step-by-step procedure of what should be done. Thank you.
Okay, the next question has to do with whether the audited accounts should be done by an auditing firm or the clubs.
Oh, no, not by an auditing firm. You could elect somebody from the club to do it. But at the discretion of, let's say, the club board of directors, if you would want a member who is a chartered accountant or a member who has a firm to do it, you could negotiate with them to get it done for a very small fee. We're not saying an audited firm should necessarily do it because of the fees. Let's say you have a small amount of 500 in your account and you get an auditing firm taking 5,000, that will be a challenge. So if you get somebody, at the end of the day, the issues we are looking at, it's not that much. How much you had at the beginning, okay, where the monies came from, which if we are going by transparency and ensuring that there is fairness, and it's not where the president has his checkbook in his pocket, and as he so decides, he will just write out the check and pay for things. okay, and where the treasurer will just collect monies, and no meetings are held to decide on how the money will be spent. And I think this should be done. They are not resources of the president or the treasurer. It is the resources of the club. Thank you.
Okay. Can we just get Lion to finish up his question, and then that will be it, so that you can move on.
Okay, but before that, somebody asked that the document that Lion Jima had authored, the ABC of Lionism, how can they obtain it?
Yes, I would send it to you, Lion Ebo, and he would send it to all the members.
Okay, Lion to you. I think he's gone off.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's the last question. I mean, Lion, I think kindly.
Okay. From Lion Osei Yao Amakuhini, with respect to the audited account, is this a new requirement from LCI?
No, it has always been there. It has always been there, but except that I think for some reason we've not been doing it, or most clubs were not doing that. But it has always been there. It is just financial prudence in your offices when you receive money. It is only fair to account for monies you have received. You go in on the trek, or you're going to do something, they give you money. When you come, you retire it. Is that not it? And you say how you spent it, okay? And if there is any amount left, you return the money to the coffers. So it's just a matter of being financially prudent. Thank you.
All right. I think we should. It's about 10 minutes to 10. Lion Imakorujo Jima will have to move on to do a few other presentations for all the other zones. Indeed, he's doing a presentation for Zone 1. He's doing another presentation for Zone 3, and then doing a final presentation for Zone 4. And so, Lion Imakorujo Jima, we want to thank you very much for this wonderful presentation and the depth of knowledge that you have shared with us on ensuring a smooth transition. So on behalf of all the clubs in the zone and then the members, I also want to apologize for having ability to wish you happy birthday, happy belated birthday, and we promise you that this will not happen again. We will have our own taming at the cabinet meeting when we meet.
Thank you. Thank you. And enjoy the rest of your meeting and stay safe.
All right.
Bye for now.
Okay, so Lion and Amy, let's move back to. I think there were a few questions from the club presentations, but I think I want us to finish all the club presentations, and then we'll look at the questions that are directed to each club president. There are a few things that I've read on the questions tab, but I think we'll come back to all of the questions. So can we roll out the presentation by Kumasi Garden City? That's the next one. Can you share screen for the report by Kumasi Garden City?
Sorry.
Who has it? You have that one, right?
I think so.
Yes, I shared with you.
Garden City.
Let me see if you don't have it. Let me try and see if I can. 1 minute.
Okay, I have it.
Right.
So who am I unmuting to?
Lion Kwame entry of Kumasi Garden City is the president. If he's around, he was saying he's not. He was getting difficulty coming on board. I don't know whether he's been able to. But I'll mute him. If you find out if he's on board, and I'll mute him to come on board, and we can.
Okay, so I can't see him. So
okay, let's skip that one and go to what do you call it? Takoradi Oyo City. Do we have Lion Samagri or even the secretary here? Takoradi Oyo City.
Yes, Lion Jenny Nketia is here, secretary, I think.
Okay, all right. So let's move on to the presentation, the report by Takoradi Oyo City.
okay, so I have that open now. And Jenny Ketia can also talk.
Okay, so let's go. Let's share screen now. And then, okay, so that is it. All right. So that one was for community guidance. Let's share the one for.
So this is Takrady.
It's not
Hello.
Is that how we're going to say it? It's a little faint. I start uploading.
Yeah, I think it's frozen. The Takrady secretary says that there's fumigation ongoing, so can hardly hear.
You should move from the fumigation side, if possible. Lion Ketia, Genevieve Ketia, if you can move away from where the fumigation is being done, so that we can hear you. Lion Tio has raised his hand again.
Let me
can we find out what he has to say to us, and then we can move on? Can you unmute Lion Tio, please?
I'm doing that. Lion Tio, you can go ahead.
I don't think it's okay. No, it's unmuted now. Yeah. Lion Tio, please go ahead. Lion Tio, we cannot hear you.
Please can you move to the next class? So if they're not ready, class presentation. Can we? Is it better? Next class presentation. If Takrady is not ready.
Okay, all right. So it's your president. You will run us through the report. All right. Are you the one to run us through the report? We'll do the discussion with you. Or is your president? Is your club president here? Okay. All right. Lion at ease.
Lion zone check.
Let's roll through. Let me just see what they have, and we can come back to Kumasi. All right. So they started the year with 37. Total membership as of June 19 was that is incorrect. Let me see what they have. They started with 40. They dropped like 7. And so this figure is a little incorrect. The June 2019 figure, I don't know, but we need to check. I'll share one when this is done. Okay, no MGFs for now. There can be 100 contributions, none. I know they were starting a club, a Leo club somewhere on a Takrady Technical University campus. I don't know how far. They have 20 members, that's what they are, but the name of the Leo club is not in there. The club finances, international 795, 5,400. Wow. Please, Takrady, any person, if any Lion from Takrady is around, please. This figure is probably not correct. 5,400 from international. I do not think so. Districts. See, this is what happens when you don't take time to fill your reports. We give you 1 whole week to try and do this. Please move on. Amount in bank account is 550. Activity. Okay, service reports. So they've done 7 activities, and then they've reported 5 of it. 2 have not been reported so far, and it's 12,669. Okay. The president is not being here for us to do interaction with him, but let's move on. Leadership club extension, none. Leadership, wait a minute. I think Lion Samagri was in Takrady. It was in Abeokuta for the RLLI, and it's important that this should have been in there. This report is very, very, very incomplete. Club quality improvements, Charles Nelson. Okay, that was the one we did. My club, my way, Lion Charles Nelson. But please go down. Challenges and opportunities, funding of activities. All right, opportunities. Inviting individuals from corporate institutions for them to know much about Lions Club and its activities. COVID-19 has attended online activities will help drive a lot of my LCI to take advantage of resources. I don't really get that, but it would have been appropriate if they were online to explain some of these opportunities. But Lion Kitia is saying she can't hear us. Can we move on to the Kumasi Garden City so that if Lion to
Lion zone check.
Yes, please.
It looks like Lion. Okay, he dropped their hand. Lion front hands was up, so I wanted to ask if it was, but he dropped their hand, so you can carry on.
I think there was a statement, a chat.
Hello.
Who is this?
Lion Frank.
Yes, Lion Frank, Zone Chair.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, quick one. I was just going to say, in fact, I wanted to raise a point of order to say that since the Takrady was not being presented, going through their report was just going to be theirs, because in case they come online again, they might have to go. So if we don't have a representative, we should just skip and focus on ones available, just to manage our time.
Very well noted, please.
Thank you.
Can we go to Kumasi Garden City, please?
So we have Kumasi Garden City.
Lion Tio, can you unmute Lion Tio? I think Lion, the president, Nana Kwame Entry is not on board. If Lion Tio can help us run through this.
Lion Tio is unmuted.
Okay. Lion Tio, good morning once again. Lion Pazo Tio, are you there, please? it's I think you've unmuted him, right?
Yes, I've unmuted him.
Leontio, can you please speak to us, please? You've been unmuted. Your hand is raised. You've been unmuted. Kindly speak to us. Leontio. The gentleman's hand is still raised and he's not talking. We will have to move on. And please.
Yeah, you were asking the question whether I was here.
Yes, I couldn't hear you, my brother. So I'm saying, in the
yes, you were asking me a question if I was present, and I was responding.
I cannot hear you. Okay, now you are clear. Thanks. I'm saying, in the absence of the president, would you like to take us through this?
Can you hear me? Sorry, my house is a bit of barrel network.
Please leave in Accra.
They're reporting.
Next time, please leave in Accra, not the Eastern region.
Can you hear me, please?
Okay, we can hear you now. Please go ahead. Start. So club membership, you start June 2018, you were 18, you are now 22, net growth of 4. But you do not have any prospective members now, right?
Yes, we don't.
All right. And this club was chartered in 2010, and there's no MJF. You do not have one single MJF.
Yeah, at the moment we do not, but I think by the end of the next service year we should have had at least 5 MGFs.
Land Secretary, please note this down, please. Very important. And it is also for the incoming zone chair to take notes. Campaign 100, there are no contributions.
At the moment, we've not had that directly because of the fact that I think members are trying to put together from our club. What we have decided to do is to contribute for some members to become MGFs in the next Lion service year. So we all contribute, and one person will achieve that feat, and to continue to all club members do so.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, Kumasi City Leo Club. I'm interested in this one. When I visited your club at your installation, we spoke about this, and your people promised me. Your board said by the end of the service year, this club was going to come on board. I still do not know what is the status of the Kumasi City Leo Club. What is the status, and why is it that they are not still on board, my brother?
Okay, let me attempt a response to it. Plans were far advanced. At a point, we realized that the interest of some of the members, past president, past Leo Commissioner Ifya Safwa, to had any better response from them as well. But it is not a hopeless situation. I'm sure we would pursue this agenda, and before the end of the 2020-2021 service year, Kumasi City Leo Club will be on board. Apparently, I must add that we asked Adeshe Leo Club to sort of twin them. So the two Leo advisors from Kumasi Royal and Kumasi Garden City were in touch, but we reinforced the conversation and advance it so that by the end of the 2020-2021 service year, we will see that there will be not just Kumasi City, but probably a third Leo club in Kumasi.
Okay, now when the loyalties, can you go back a little on the Campaign 100 one? You made mention of the fact that your members are contributing towards MGF. Now, if they are contributing towards MGF, then it would have to go to Campaign 100. All right. Any contribution towards MGF counts for any contributions to Campaign 100 counts to your you acquiring your MDF status. So if you are indeed contributing, that should count to your MDF. And if you are in a position to tell us how much you guys have contributed so far for Campaign 100.
Sorry, please.
This is bad. This is bad. Wow. Lion, please adjust yourself a little, please. Lion, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's be cautious of time. Lion, let's look at cloud finances. So you're looking at second semester invoiced amount brought forward from first semester is the same 9315. The total is inconsistent. I mean, if brought forward plus the second semester should be more than 9315, 91.15. And so if you've paid 191.15, amounts are standing. So if there's no brought forward, that place should be 0, so that the total should reflect 9315. And then amount paid, so you get outstanding of 0 once you have a full payment. So please amend that. If there is no brought forward from last semester, if you cleared every invoice from last semester, please take that one now. And then districts paid, you paid 3,800, but you were unable to tell us what the second semester invoice amount was and what the brought forward amount was for first semester. You only indicated that you've paid 1,800 and outstanding. It is not clear. It is, I think that was poorly done. This particular area was poorly done. Let's move on. There's no money from, you don't have any money in a bank account and cash in hand. Service projects. Lanti, are you okay now? Are you back now? Lanti, please move on. Let's look at the challenges and opportunities. Club extension is 0, no leadership, and then it's only my club, my way. All right. Okay. And then challenges and opportunity, payment of dues, attending of meeting, and opportunities are what, please? Go down a little. Opportunities. Thank you very much for allowing to for sending in for your president. We'll move on to Accra Phoenix, our new baby, Accra Phoenix Lions Club. And then currently on mute, if you can share the report from Accra Phoenix, who's our new club. And then on mute, Lion Jojo Covenant to take us through.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Hello. Jojo has been unmuted.
Okay. Good morning, Lion Jojo Covenant, Hughes Jojo Covenant, Charter President of Accra Phoenix Lions Club. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Lions on Chair. I'm well. Yourself?
Okay. All right. So you had your present membership is 22, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So beginning of the year, you had about 10, and then you added 12 members.
Yeah.
Good job. All right. Prospective members. You had 7. It's now 6. You reduced by 1. These 6 prospective members, when do you intend to induct them?
We are hoping that we'll take advantage of the 90 days window we still have, and hopefully take advantage of the waiver on the entrance fee so that we can induct them during our charter night, which we are still hoping for a date in probably the new service year starting 1st July.
LCIF. None of your members has contributed towards Campaign 100, and you do not have an MDF.
No.
Okay. You used to call yourself Melvin Jojo Fellow, and you are not an MDF.
Is there? Probably I know.
Okay, all right. So Leo clubs, you do not have a Leo club at the moment.
We are trying to get a Leo club at Pentecost University.
Okay, that's fine. All right. Club finance, yeah, new club. You have an outstanding of $20. I hope that you clear this before we go to the next service year. You need to start the service year on a zero account.
Actually, the money has been paid, but that's still not reflected. It was paid yesterday.
Okay, all right. Activities, let's look at activities, please. Okay, so relieving the anger. I know you did a couple of activities with Metro. They did a joint reporting, huh?
Yeah, we reported just one because all the activities we did in the past were with Metro. Since the club got chartered, we've done just one. So that is why we have just one here.
Okay, all right. Move on. Okay, leadership, you have none. No ELI, no RLI, no FDI. Okay, so club operations, you've had one club officers training, you have CQI, and then you've done My Club, My Way. So you need to look at, what do you call it? Blueprints for a Stronger Club, which is now from 1st of July, it will be known as Build a Vision for Your Club. And I hope that you guys can try and take that program as well. And then best practice of financial transparency, dispute resolution procedure, and of course, social engagements. Let's look at their challenges and opportunities. Member attendance at meetings, payment of dues. It looks as if the payment of dues, it is something that has been recurring. Every club has a challenge with payment of dues. And at the end of the program, we want people to suggest, attendees to suggest to us how we can really address this problem of payment of dues, because you joined us as a lion and you were told what your obligations are going to be. So if you join and are not paying dues, then that doesn't make you a lion. We need to find a solution to this at the end of this meeting. Punctuality at meetings, financing, services, and activities. Okay, opportunities, you say your charter attained, making meetings concise and precise so members do not waste time. Can you explain that? Making meetings concise and precise so members do not waste time. What do you mean by that?
We meet at Pokwasi. Anybody who knows the municipality well knows that our area is a very traffic prone area. And it's actually one of the reasons why we sometimes, or members use that as an excuse to miss meetings. So we would want to still stick to our meeting, because usually we do our meetings within 1 hour. So once we stick to it, we are hoping that by the end of 2020 or early 2021, the interchange will be completed. It will at least ease traffic in the area. And once we still work within 1 hour, we will still have members probably increase attendance at meetings.
Quickly, the third one, opportunity that I'm interested in that, establishing a profit-making venture to help the clubs assess some form of revenue for activities. What do you have in mind?
Okay, so a lot of communities in Dina Masaman do not have access to potable water. We intend to get to work with the traditional authority so that at least we can get pipe-borne water and sell at a subsidized rate, so that we can raise some revenue from that one. And then it will go into club our service account so that we can use it for our activities.
You may have to look at that one. You know, we are a humanitarian organization. In fact, we are expected that where people do not even have pipe-borne water, if you can even source for funding and then construct boreholes for these communities, they will thank us, and that will be part of our responsibilities as a humanitarian service organization. So look at it again, all right?
Zonche.
Yes, please.
Please, can I add that they don't necessarily have to do it and dash to the community if they can't afford to, and they need to have some form of venture for their club in order to help with their finances. What they can do is actually give to the community maybe at a very maybe a lower rate than is normal, but still make something off for their club.
Yeah, to add to what Lance Aram said, that is what I said earlier, that it will be discounted. Actually, we are selling at 50 pesos for the Kufuor gallon. So we are going to look at somewhere 20 pesos for a Kufuor gallon.
Okay, that's fine. We'll talk about this later. Okay. Thank you very much, Lion Jojo Kobina, for the opportunity to run through this with you. I think we are done, right?
We are done.
Okay, all right. Can we now go to the questions? I think there are a few questions that were directed to a few particular.
Every club has dues payments as a challenge. What strategies is in place to go around this counter? Is it because new members are not well prepared to honor their obligations? Then, would Accra Metro refund the 1,500 to their individual contributing members? Then the last one is, are there any punitive measures for clubs submitting reports that have so many gaps?
Okay, let's take it one by one. Let's look at Lion Pedicus's. Let's look at Lion Pedicus's own. Let me ask him what's in fact once that he's asked a question, I think I'll introduce him later in the program. But if he has other suggestions to make in that regard, that'll be awesome. So when I introduce him later on at the program, he probably may have to tell us what suggestions he has in that regard. Let's go to the Accra Metro one. Would Accra Metro refund the 1,500 refund to individual contributing members? Lion Christopher Papakondia, can you unmute Lion Chris?
He can speak.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
An attendee wants to find out from you whether the 1,500, which is the district convention levy, that a district is supposed to refund to Accra Metro, that you stated in your report. I'm saying, are you going to refund to the individual contributing members?
I think that it's in fact it's money that we'll hold in trust for next year, because next year we're also looking at perhaps easing of restrictions and then hosting a convention. So it's money that we're going to put aside for the next year, assuming that we are to hold a convention. So we are not going to give it back to members, contributing members, but we'll hold it in trust for next year, please.
Let me also say that what occasioned this decision by the district was the fact that clubs were not paying their dues. And a question was posed by a member, I don't know whether it's on a district cabinet platform or something, that why don't we use the district convention was not going to come on anyway. So the idea was that why don't we use the district convention levy that those clubs have already paid to the district to offset the district dues. All right, so I don't know if that is the intention, because if you look at your finances, you made us know that there was a deficit, and that when you get the refund from the district, that's what you're going to use to clear the deficit. Is that right?
Yes, precisely. But we haven't concluded on that arrangement. We don't have a finality on that yet from the district treasurer. So once that is concluded on, then we can know that it has been absorbed by the deficit to the district.
Lance, any other question again?
The question about punitive measures for clubs that submit reports with a lot of gaps.
Punitive measures. Well, I don't know. I don't know about punitive measures. We can't punish them, but we can only ensure that anytime they are expected to submit, for instance, as we speak, Tema Greenwich was expected to submit his reports. The club president made me know that he was having difficulty with a few things that he's doing. As we speak, that report is still not in. I think what we have to do, maybe as a zone, if you do not submit your reports on time, and all of the clubs, we said the clubs were supposed to submit their reports by 12 noon. By 12 noon on Friday, 12th of June. As at 12 noon on Friday, only 2 clubs have submitted their reports, Accra Phoenix and Accra Metro. So maybe going forward, what we can do is that if you do not submit your report by the set time, we will not, your report will not count. I mean, when I'm reporting to the district, I will include that as my report because the report has not come in at the right time. We should respect time and then make sure that our reports are given at the right time. That's the whole point. I hope that addresses it. Okay, no more questions. All right.
Lion Zonche.
Yes, Lion.
There are 3 hands up. Lion Bernard Usuyanki, Lion Foster Asempa, and Lion 2. So I'm going to allow Lion
Usuyanki, please.
Yes. Lion Yankee, you have the floor.
Lion Yankee, please.
Lion Yankee.
If it's not ready, can we move on to Lion Foster Asempa, Asempa entry, please?
Okay, Lion Foster has the floor now.
Yes, thank you very much, and good morning again, fellow Lions.
Good morning.
There is one thing that had run through all the reports that has to do with dues payment. I am happy presidents and other executives are on this platform. And what I want to say is that let us take advantage of situations that will ease financial pressure on members. What do I mean? Now that we have a window where we could get members on board, let us do everything possible to get our PLs, not necessarily inducting them, but let's upload our PLs so that the induction, the new membership fee is taken off them. We don't push them into next year when they are ready to be inducted or almost about to be inducted before we put them on board. That will mean they are going to pay the $35 or the new entrance fee plus the club dues. So let's take advantage of it now. Let's get them on board. So next year, next service year, all what they do is they pay their annual dues. These are measures that I believe can reduce pressure on new members that are coming. The other thing I want to talk about is, please, dues is becoming a problem. Let us scrutinize members very well if they are capable, first of all, to pay dues and also to serve. Let's not just go promise people. I mean, somebody had called me and told me that he is joining Lions Club because he's been told Lions Club will help him pay for his masters. I mean, who goes say such things to incoming members? What will be the expectation of the members? I believe to be a member of Lions Club, we need people who are committed to give out their money and their time to serve others. We don't need members that the club will serve. We need people who will come and serve others. Let us be very, very careful about the type of people we bring on board. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lion Foster. Can we listen to Lion Teo, please? Or if you cannot get Lion Teo,
Lion Teo has the floor now.
All right. Lion Teo, you're back on board.
Lion Teo.
Lion Teo.
Yes, please, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so I was making a comment on the suggestion that came on the floor to extend punishment or prison measures to clubs that submit report that has gaps. Yes. On the contrary, what I want to suggest is that the zone secretary is directly responsible for educating club secretaries on exactly what is required in the reporting. I think in the past, what happens is once we assume a tenure, there is training for club presidents, club secretaries, and club treasurers. These are the key roles that so I was expecting that as we take office, we will ensure that these core roles are trained. Training should not be done just once; it should be repetitive. On almost every tenure, we need to ensure that we provide such training. I had the class were given 1 week to submit their report. I think 1 week is enough to even do a draft and then also a review. So it is all about offering training and offering sort of advice to clubs on how their reporting should be and the expectations as well.
Okay, very well noted. But you see, Lion Teo, in the past, we have sent templates to club president 2 weeks, 2 clear weeks, and we're expecting that. Listen, if you have challenges with filling in the template that has been sent to you, you draw the zone secretary's attention to it, or even myself, that these are I do not know what to put in here. These are my challenges, and then we can address it. But nothing comes. Everybody works last 20 minutes. And then by 12 midnight, you get reports coming in. Listen, we wanted these reports to be in by 12. Like I'm saying, by 12, only two clubs, by yesterday, 12 June, 12 noon, only 2 clubs have submitted. All the other clubs, we got their reports early this morning. How can you even interrogate this? We needed time to look at it and then see if there are gaps, and then we can get back to you. But when you submit, we have a meeting at 8 a.m. and reports come in at 7:30 a.m. Sometimes 7, 12 midnight. How can we even look at that?
Solar zone, on the basis of that, I think as a head of the zone or whoever is heading the zone at any point in time, there should be a discretion. If all these measures have been put in place and clubs are still not adhering to the standard reporting procedures and guidelines, I will not consider those clubs to have reported for that particular district governance advisory committee meeting. And so as part of the competition or the district competition, it will go against you as not having submitted your report. So I was inclined to say that, yes, some of these could be the actions or the punitive actions that we can take. Only when we have exhausted all these means by training, engaging the clubs on what the expectations are.
Okay, point well noted, please. Thank you very much.
Zone Chair, can I please add to that just to clarify something?
Okay, all right.
I believe that when we started this service year, in fact, even at a point, especially before the first zone meeting, when we realized that we're not getting the reports in the way we wanted and all that, for some of the clubs, we had to personally take some of them through, even share resources with them. And I know that at the district level too, there was training for all officers as well at the beginning of the service year. And some of the clubs also had their own trainings. So I think that it's important that if you feel that your club has a gap, in fact, nothing stops the club itself from even taking the initiative to say, look, I think that we need training on ABCD to help us navigate our club through the service year. And I'm sure the zone can even pick it up and organize training. I remember the first zone meeting, one of the things we wanted to do was to task the district, get in touch with the district IT team to train some of the clubs officers on the use of my LCI, especially those that brought it to attention during their report that they were having difficulties, and some of those were done. So I think it's also important that you bring those up so it can be addressed.
All right, thank you very much. I think we may have to move on. Let's listen to Lion and Bernardo Yankee, please. Good morning, Lion.
Yeah, good morning, and everyone.
Good morning.
Yeah, sorry for the first I attempt to talk to you, and I couldn't. I'm in other meetings too. Please, I've heard a lot, and I noticed some things down, but then let me just settle on the issue about the refund the district made.
Right.
The issue about the refund, the district levy refund that the district made.
Levy, yes.
Hello, are you hearing me?
We can hear you loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Yes, that refund was for clubs, not the individual who has contributed. That refund it's still a levy that must be paid by every member. Every district constitution is in it, the district levy. So the district levy is the 50 Ghana cedis, and that is what the district, the organizing committee, starts using it to implement to execute the district convention before the registrations come in for food and other things. So it is in every district constitution. The district governor granted amnesty. Let me use the word amnesty for that money to be refunded to aid the clubs in payment of district dues, but not the individual. The clubs are not supposed to refund it for the individual. The individual next lanistic year, the individual will pay additional 50 cedis for the district levy. So clubs like Accra Golden, we had a credit because we had already marshaled some money to pay our outstanding district dues. So in order not to create chaos in your clubs and say that the DG has not said that the money should be refunded to members, it's for the clubs. That is what I want to I give you now. I'm in other meetings, so if something comes up.
Point well noted. Lion Bernardo Yankee, our outgoing district cabinet secretary.
Esewara. I'm waiting for you.
No problem. Lion Atis, can we move on fast and then bring on board our zone secretary, Lion immediate past president, Freddie Seya Mahiabo, who will speak to us on Club Excellence Award. We've come to that part of the year where we have to apply for the Club Excellence Award. He will take us through all the criteria. The Club Excellence Award is premised on the LCI forward. And so all the 4 quadrants of the LCI forward will take us through it and let us know how each club which is qualified can apply. So kindly bring on board Lion Seya Mahiabo, and then let's share his screen. Or Lion Seya, if you can share your screen with us, please.
I think Nema should share it for me. If I share, I can't put it in presentation mode and still share my screen.
Okay, all right. Lion, please share if you have it, please.
I sent it to you on WhatsApp.
Lion has it, right?
Yes.
Give me a few minutes. I'll just put it up right now.
Okay.
Okay, I think I'm sharing it for you. Yeah. So you have it on the screen now, please. Lion Fred.
Okay. All right.
Can somebody unmute Lion Benadozo Yankee, please? Lion Atik, please unmute Lion Benadozo Yankee, and now any other. Okay, so let me start the. There we go.
Okay. Good morning. Please, let's go back to the first slide so that I can speak to it before we start. First slide, please. Hey. Okay. All right. So good morning. I am Lion, IPP Seram Ahiabo of Accra Golden, and also Zone Secretary for Zone 2. I'll be talking about the Club Excellent Award, which is an award that you can apply to as a club if you meet the criteria for that. This award is something that LCI encourages all clubs to aspire to achieve every single service year. And so we are going to go through a presentation where I will highlight the key qualifying areas and also the details that you need to provide in order to be able to apply. At the end of it, I would show the form itself so that we see how the form itself looks like. And I'll give you details on when the deadline is and what you need to note and all that. So we can go to the next slide where I'll talk about the qualifying criteria for the award. Okay, so there are 4 qualifying criteria that you need to pay attention to if you want to be able to apply for this award at the end of the service year. So this award takes a look at what you have achieved in the service year. So you may not apply before the service year ends because, for instance, for membership, what LCI will take into account is the membership you have, the net growth in your membership you have at the end of June in that service year. So you cannot do that, for instance, in April when LCI does not know what will happen between that April and June. All right, so the first criteria is excellence in community service. So you can say service. The second is membership. The third is organizational operation. That's how you organize your club, how you organize your meetings, etc., things like that. And the fourth is in marketing and communications. So I'm going to go through each of these and we'll look at the details that LCI will require when you are filling the form. And so you need to understand this before the start of your service year, so that as you are doing your service or planning your service outline for the year, your activities and your club organization for the year, you are taking into account all these things and making sure that you are able to fulfill all the criteria, so that at the end of the service year you can apply. So we go to the next screen, where we'll talk about the first criteria, which is the membership. Now, LCI expects you to have a net growth in membership. So you should not have less members than you had at the beginning of the service year. Aside from that, even if you do not have an increase in your club membership, and you are able to form a new Lions Club, a new Leos Club, or a club branch, it is considered by LCI as a growth in membership, and so that will count. You can see that it's an either or, whether you achieve a net growth in your club, or you chartered a new club or a Lions Club, as you can see on the screen. Then, aside from that, what is up there, you have end. So you should know that it is one of those at the top: achieve a net growth, or charter new club, or charter new club. That is one item. And then this must be the second part must also be fulfilled in order for you to qualify. So you can see, and supported member retention by increasing member satisfaction. Now this is important because you also need to note how your members feel, or what strategies you have put in place to encourage your members to grow, encourage your members to be more satisfied with the club and its operations. And this is going to be the second part of what you are going to provide when you are filling the form. I've taken this screenshot from the form, so when I show you the full form, you'll notice that all these are in place. And the main focus here is to see improvement in membership and the value, okay, for membership value, and then also reaching new markets. That's getting members or clubs in new areas to improve service. And so that's important. You can see there's a note under that says that it's based on June 30th cumulative membership report. So that is at this point that LCI is going to consider this particular criteria to have been fulfilled. Okay, so we'll move to the next one. The next one focuses on service. Okay, and here you are asked to fill out some information on some of the service activities you have done in the year. So you started a new service project. Consider one of our global courses. Of course, you can list the activities that you've done. I mean, 3 cry is not enough. As for Ghana clubs, I know that when it comes to service, at 3 years, we would have done more than that. So here we don't really have much of a challenge. And there's an additional condition in addition to the services you have done, and that is to contribute to LCIF. Okay, and that must be noted. So at the beginning of the year, for clubs where you know that, okay, you don't have members contributing, this has to be part of your plan. Especially if you want to apply, you must be ready to encourage your members to start contributing to LCIF, so that you'll be able to easily tick off this box and say, yes, we have members who have contributed to LCIF. And that is very, very important. So we'll go to the next one. The next screen talks about organizational excellence. Pardon me, somehow it's the criteria has gone under the image. Okay, so for organizational excellence, you want to see how the club is run, the club's status in the district, in the LCI, and how you plan or do activities. And those things are all very, very important. So you'll notice that the form is asking you, first of all, to find out if the club is in good standing. So one, you are not owing international to the point where you are in status quo or financial suspension. You are not owing district dues where you have not paid at the time of submission of the at the end of the service year. Also, you don't have any balance with LCI greater than $50, which has been there for more than 90 days after you are due to pay. And so once you make sure that you are meeting this criteria, you can easily check off that box. Now, in addition to this, there's also two more that you need to check. So key officers participate in one or more of the following leadership training events. So if a district organized training for officers, did your club participate? You can take it. If international organized webinars, training and all that, did you have your officers, key officers participating? And in this, I think when Lion Jima was speaking, he mentioned the Magnificent Seven. So it's important at least you have your Magnificent Seven attending any of these key training, leadership training events. Then you'll be able to take those off. So for district, international, Lions Learning Center, which you can instigate on your own as a club and have your officers or your members join to undertake the training. There's also webinars which we have engaged in over the course of the year. So once you have that, you should be able to take one or two or three of these, and then you can check that one off as well. Now, the last one is improved club operations. Okay, and this is important. I think that in our zone report, we're asking clubs whether they were able to go through the club quality initiative to identify opportunities for improving the club. And that is the end result of going through the CQI. So if your club has done it, you should be able to check this off and indicate in the form what improvement strategies your club has been able to come up with. Okay, so move to the next one. Okay, so the next one is with regards to visibility. Okay, and you can see from the top left corner, it says reshape public opinion and improve visibility. So yes, you are doing activities, you are doing training and all that, but somehow you are not communicating anything. No one is seeing that outside. That's not helpful. So it's this has been set as part of it because it's very, very important that you are able to communicate and market the club and invariably the Lions Club with your activities. So one, marketing and communication, the form will be asking you whether you have publicized your service activities through social media or local media. Local media in this case would be TV, radio, newspaper, etc. And then social media, as we all know, your Facebook, your Instagrams, your Twitter, your WhatsApps, etc. Okay. And so here, if you've done that, any of those, so it's local media or social media. So you can tick if you have been posting on social media to publicize your service activities and events. Now, under here, you are supposed to choose all the mediums that you have used to publicize your club activities. And here, one very one key social media tool that we use is missing. I'm hoping that someone will mention that in the question or answer to that type. So I will not mention it, but it's an assignment for us. There's one key social media tool we use that LCI have not included in the form. Probably they don't use it much there, but they don't know that here that's what we use mostly. So that's that. So we'll move to the next slide, please. Okay, so here I've put down some very important things that I believe that we must all take note of. So for a club to even qualify to apply, you must have been chartered before January 1st. So for instance, if you are chartered in January 2nd this year, even though we are in the 2019-2020 Lions service year, you are not eligible to apply for the Club Excellence Award if your club was chartered after January 1st. However, if we're chartered, for instance, maybe December 31st, 2019, you'll qualify. Also, the deadline for applying for this year's application is 31st August. 31st August. And so I would like us all to take note of that. You also have an email where you can even ask, you can make inquiries, maybe if you don't understand something on the form, you can make inquiries at LCI. And the email address is clubexcellenceaward@lionsclubs.org. Club Excellence Award at lionsclubs.org. I was hoping to have changed the color of that. It's not too visible, so pardon me. Then also on the form, the district governor is required to sign on the form. However, LCI has made provision that, for instance, if the application comes from the district governor's email, okay, they'll consider that as the club, the district governor's signature. Okay, so you can have that distinction made. Once the district governor submits on your behalf, then it can be considered that he has approved it, he has signed it. Also, if you win the award as a club, it will be emailed to the district governor during the 2020-2021 district governor, who would then give it to your club at a ceremony. Okay, next slide, please. All right, so this one is to encourage you. Make it your club's tradition to achieve excellence every year. Currently, as we like to brag in Accra Golden, we are the only world-class club in District 418. So we start. I know that we'll start adding the Club Excellence Award every year now. So now we start counting. 2-time Club Excellence Award club. So please, if you want to join that bandwagon, make sure that your club is also preparing to achieve this Excellence Award every year as the service year starts. So thank you very much. And if you have any questions, you can throw them out now.
Lion Zone Chair, there's a question from Lion Christopher Kundia. Can we use the same email address to apply for the Club Excellence Award?
Is it the, can you go back? Is it the email that the Club Excellence Award email?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. You can use that. I said I was going to show the form whilst we were doing the question and answer. So I would like to, unless you have the form, I'd like to share screen and then show the form.
Okay, just go ahead and share screen. Okay. Lion Tio also has a question, so I'm going to allow him.
Okay.
Lion Tio, you have the floor.
Thank you. Lion Seriam.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would want you to just give some explanation. I think some members don't know that Club Excellence Award is linked to the 100% presidency or 100% secretary or treasurer. So if you're able to just do a link to that one as well.
Okay, give me a minute. Let me talk through this one, the form, and then I'll get to that. Hello? Hello?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, all right. So this is the form. Let me hide this. Okay, so this is how the form looks like when you download it. So you have your application date, the club number, club name, member number, the president's name, and then the club president's email address. I'm sure they'll be notified if the club has won the award. And these were the quadrants that I picked and put on the slides. What we'll be interested in is what is down here. So we have the date that is going to be submitted, the district governor's signature here, then the district number, then the member number. So district number. And then, so we have the due date here, which I put in there. And then this is the email address. Someone has a question as to whether you are going to send to the same email address here. So yes, this is the same email address you are going to send to. And there's a note here that says that it will be mailed to the 2020-2021 district governors. All right, and this was the point I was making, that if the district governor sends from their registered email address, it qualifies as a signature. Okay, what I didn't touch on has to do with the disqualified clubs that have 12 months from original due date to request a review. So if your club has been disqualified, you can request for a review as well. All right. So with regards to the question from Lion Tio, as he was saying, this award is linked to the award for President's Excellence Award and then Secretary's 100% awards. I've not looked at those awards, honestly, in relation to this presentation. So I will not be able to speak in much detail about that. I don't know if, Lance, you have more information regarding that you can speak to. But when I was doing the research for this, I did not come across that linkage. But what I can do is I can look at it maybe after this presentation and give an update before we finish this meeting. Hello, any more questions?
Lion Joe.
Yeah, I want to say, am I still on speaker, please?
Oh, yes, you are. Oh, by the way, we have an answer to the question I had on the during the presentation about the missing social media tool that we use that was not on the form. And it's WhatsApp. It was sent by Lion Jimuel, incoming secretary for Tema Greenwich. Thank you very much, Lion Jimuel. Lion, you can continue.
Okay, so in the past, we had the awards to club secretary and club treasurer, and so the modification of that particular award has been the Club Excellence Award, which once we fill this form and it goes, it means that the reporting was made without any blemish. Our MMRs, our MARs, and then our dues were paid. So in coming forth to the award, the president would first, the club will win a patch, the president will win a pin, the secretary will win a pin, and also the treasurer will also win a pin. There's a fourth one, the Zone Chairman's Excellence Award. And that also goes to award the zone chairman for the service year for his contribution to ensuring that clubs under him did the reporting and on time.
Yes.
So it is by extension well. The zone, the president, and the club board.
There's a separate application.
That's been the expansion of
zone chairperson.
Yes. What I'm saying is that the Club's Excellence Award actually has a correlation with the separate application of the Zone Chairman's Award. The basis for the Zone Chairman's Award is if the clubs under you went through those processes.
Okay.
And were able to submit their MMR at the end of the fiscal year.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay. Are there any further questions?
Are there any further questions, please?
So hopefully, those who qualify, those clubs that qualified this year should apply. And for next service year, maybe we can take it as all clubs in the zone will be able to apply at the end of the next service year, because now we know about it and we are all going to plan towards how to ensure that our club meets all the criteria to be able to apply.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lion Sayam, Freddie Anyabo. That was an excellent presentation. We are grateful for your time. We appreciate you a lot.
Welcome.
All right, so we are done with questions. We are done with the district governor. When I sent the invitation to him, was expected to be part of us, but he's in Kumasi attending a board meeting for one of the savings and loans companies which he chairs. So he has sent me his remarks, which I want to read to you. The district governor-elect cannot be part of this. So I'll read the district governor's remarks to you. It's on WhatsApp, but I'll read to you in a moment.
You can also share whilst you are reading so that we all follow you.
He sent it by, I think, I placed it on our platform. Is it possible for you to share?
Let me share right now.
Okay.
But you can go ahead and read.
Okay. One moment, please. Okay, so this is the DG's message to all the members, all the club members in the zone. Dear zone chairman and fellow Lions, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the last District Governance Advisory Committee meeting or zone meeting for the 2019-2020 Lions service year. Let me start by congratulating all Lions of District 418 for your dedication and commitment to the district. We have in just 1 year established ourselves as a force in the Lions fraternity. But fellow Lions, there's a disturbing development in the district which threatens our growth, and this is our attrition rate. We are losing members at a very fast rate, which is negating the strides we are making in membership growth. It is disheartening. This is because Lions are failing to discharge their financial obligations to the club, district, and LCI. The situation is such that presidents are forced to drop members instead of keeping them. Fellow Lions, this situation threatens our independence as a district, and we must resolve to end this trend. Every organization runs on funds, and the Lions clubs are no exception. As we end this service year, let us resolve to do what is required of us. Let us do what all Lions are doing around the world, keeping their clubs, districts, and international going. Let us keep our clubs, districts, and LCI functioning by paying our dues. When we do our part, that's when we can boldly claim that we have the Lion spirits all over us and are proud to be Lions. I wish you a successful zone meeting, Lions we serve. So that is from our district governor, Lion Dr. Kweku Mensah Bonsu, MJF. Artist, you want to share the screen now, right?
Yes. Can everybody see?
We cannot see anything.
No, I think your screen is not shareable.
Okay, I've also put it in the chat too. So.
Oh, you put it in the chat. Okay, all right.
Okay.
Where is it? Okay, so it's in the chat, that's fine. So basically, the DG is concerned about our attrition rate. We started the year with about 631 thereabout, and we are ending as we speak. As of yesterday, we're around 727 members. So we have added less than 100. Beginning of the year, the DG set a target with the zone chairpersons that every zone should bring on board 100. We were unable to do that. We offered, in fact, for zone 2, our net growth, our net gain is only plus 12. Let me just share. So our opening balance for June or July 2019 was 172. As of June 2020, we are 184, and our net growth has been 12. This is something I expect that my incoming zone chairperson will strive to improve upon. I mean, net growth of 12 for the zone was woefully inadequate, and I feel bad as a zone chairperson, despite the fact that we have a positive net growth, but it's still woefully be below the numbers that were expected. Tema Greenwich, for instance, as at last Wednesday or so, they dropped 5 members and they added 2. They dropped 5 members and then they added 2. We were at 187 as a zone, but because of the net loss from Tema Greenwich, we've come down to 184, and that's a concern for the districts. I just hope that going forward, we will be able to recruit quality members who can pay their dues and stay on, because from what the district governor says, club presidents are forced to drop members for non-payment of dues. So right from beginning, you need to ensure that you get the quality members on board so that you are not tempted to drop the people. So I think a question was on board from Lion Pedikisi as to what we are going to be doing to try and curtail this canker of people not paying their dues and all that, clubs not being able to pay their dues. If the members are not paying their dues, of course, the clubs will also not be able to pay their dues. So let's be careful the people whether we recruit as Lions. It's a very disheartening situation. I feel sad about the fact that as of a target of 100, I only have plus 12. And we were also expected to charter, I think, 2 clubs. It's only Accra Phoenix that was able to come on board. Commitee 25, which is a club that is coming from, sponsored by Tema Greenwich, as making strides. I'm sure by the next service year, early part of the next service year, they would have come on board. And so that is what we can also talk about for now. At this stage, I want to introduce Lion Kwesi and Pedikisi. If Lion takes, if you can unmute Lion Pedi and Kwesi, I'll just give a small profile of him, and I'll introduce Lion Kwesi and Pedikisi to all of us. Have you unmuted him, please?
I've unmuted him.
Okay, one moment, please. Okay. So let me just give a brief background of Lion Pedikisi. Presently has been appointed as the district. He's first of all has been appointed as the district auditor for the 2020-21 Lion service year. He's an auditor that has been appointed as an auditor by our district governor-elect, Lion Helen Makuobing. In fact, this is the message that was sent to us. Dear Lions and Lions, the district governor-elect Lion Helen Makuobing, PMJF, acting in consultation with the DG team and the coordinating Lion PID HOB Lawal, has appointed Lion Kwesi and Pedikisi as the zone chairperson for Zone 2 of District 418 for the 2020-21 Lion service year, in accordance with Article 6, Officers and District Cabinet, Section 3, Elections to Appointment of District Cabinets of the Standard District Constitution of Lions Club International. Now, Lion and Pedikisi is a charter member of Accra Metro Lions Club and has been a Lion for 18 years and counting. He has served in various capacities. Indeed, it has to be 20 years. It was Accra Metro was chartered in 2000. Okay, 18 years. That's correct. He has served in various capacities as president, treasurer, and secretary of his club, and currently a second-year director. He has attended a number of international and district conventions. Lion Ampedu Kisi received the Treasurer's Award during his term as treasurer of his club. He is presently the chairperson of the Finance Committee of the All Africa Forum, Accra 2022 Planning Committee. He has also been appointed by the district governor as the sole auditor for the district treasury for the 2018, 2019, and then 2019, 2020 years. Lion Ampedu Kisi is an accountant by profession and was the general manager finance of SNAIT until his retirement in 2018. He is currently a partner of Kisi Consult, an accountancy and tax consulting firm. So this was the communique that was issued by the District Cabinet Secretary, Lion Bernard Owusu Yankee. And so for those of us that were sending me private messages that you wanted to know who our incoming zone chairperson is, I introduced to you Lion past president, Kwesi Ampedu Kisi. Lion Ampedu Kisi, please, the floor is yours if you want to share with us a few thoughts, please.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hello, we can hear you, sir.
Thank you very much, and I'm glad to be here. I think it's appropriate that we congratulate the first administration for a job obviously well done. Being in Zone 2, I believe that Zone 2 is the best zone in the district. And I'm sure those of us being handed the mantle now would do all our best to carry on the pluses that have been done by this organization, the first administration, and that we will handle it with due care and skill. But we cannot do it alone. And I expect that all of us, members, presidents, vice presidents, and all lions in this zone will contribute our quota to make this possible. Our duty as Lion first is to serve. And I think that we are ready to serve. I have since been told of the appointment, try to engage or study some of the materials that are available. Some of them I must confess I had never done before. And I'm sure that all presidents are in their own efforts trying to be able to live up to the expectations of the Lions International, the district, and every member of this, our great association. Let us take this job with all seriousness that it deserves. And I will say that may God be our helper, and may God bless us all. Lions, we serve.
Yeah. We serve.
Yeah.
Please hold on. For those of you who do not know Lion Ampedu Kisi, we are going to share the profile that was shared by the District Cabinet Secretary so that his picture will be seen, so that when you see him driving in his Porsche Prado, you don't go past him.
Thank you.
I've just shared the profile on our page. Can you share it, please?
Okay.
Wonderful. So this is our handsome young pensioner, Lion Kwesi Ampedu Kisi, former what do you call it? Former GM for finance from SNAIT. I can see a few hands are raised. Lion Ampedu Kisi, please stay on board. I'm sure maybe you have a few questions that, for you to answer. Please stay on. Lion artists, can you figure out who have raised their hands and then ask? Let's ask.
Okay.
Lion Zone Chair. Okay, so we have 2 hands raised. We have actually 3. Lion Tio, Lion Ni Adomensa, and Lion Francaivo. So maybe in ascending order, I'll go with Lion Ni Adomensa first.
Okay.
So Lion Ni Adomensa. Lion Ni Adomensa, you have the floor.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah,
Yes. In this new role, he is my sponsor, and I urge everyone to support him for this new role. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Lion Francaivo.
Hello.
Yes, Lion Frank, you have the floor.
Okay. A quick congratulations to our new zone chair, Lion Ampedukisi. But I was really raising my hand. I don't know whether it's the best time to talk, to just give a few comments on what Lion Zone Chair outgoing said regarding our membership, and also maybe add something relating to the financial issues I believe most of the clubs have pointed out.
I think you can say it because it also applies to Lion Pedikisi. You can take
Okay.
note.
Okay, so just an observation, and I think maybe to help drive our net membership going forward, we need a very strategic, do I say, policy to guide all of us. Maybe stemming from the districts, that will be implemented by every club as much as possible. So taking from Lions Jiman's presentation, he didn't make a mention of this, the ABC of Lionism.
Right.
Looking at how we appreciate people, mobilizing ourselves, blah, blah, blah. Now, if you look steadily, you realize that we've come from a long way. You know, Lionism has been in Ghana for 30 years. With all the crises we went through last 2 years, it seems for me, for lack of words, we pretend as if nothing has happened. So we're down, and the next moment we can start running. For me, if we move from that point of view, then we might not take certain factors into consideration, and we'll be having a high expectation of ourselves, but will not be meeting it. Why am I saying that? I mean, everybody who falls down, when they wake up and they start running again, they cannot move at the same momentum they are. You need to gather a certain momentum and also then lift from. So what am I saying? I'm relating to all the crises we went through over the last 2-3 years, or even previously, before we attained our district status last year. Now, you'd have seen that if you observe, but for some of the very younger clubs, when I say younger clubs under the age of 5 years, if it takes most of the existing club 15 years plus, 20 years plus, you'd have realized that they had majority of their membership reaching a certain age criteria, and most of them are either senior citizens now and are not quite active. Some of them are there on paper but not active at the club level. So you realize that there is that gap created already. However, if you look at what we report to both district presently and also international, we have some of these members somehow still on our register as membership, but we don't have that activeness. Now, what does this do for all clubs? There are two things. You have this generational gaps among some of the clubs, which, if not resolved, you don't go to club meetings, and it gives that network beyond our service to humanity. It gives that bonding and networking. So we should look at it as a point. And also, as a people, as Lions, whether our clubs are vibrant today or not, how do we behave so that when we, apart from inviting new members to join us, who might be of good standing financially and ready to serve, how do we position ourselves that when they visit our meetings the first time, the second time, the moment of truth, the first impressions they have, do we have an ability to retain these people? And I keep saying this all the time. We are a service club. However, as any strategic organization, we have competitors. So today, there are other social service clubs that exist. A typical one among us in Ghana today is Rotary, which seem to even be established here before us. If I'm somebody who want to offer myself to a service organization and I want like-minded people, today I have a choice, let's say, between Lions and Rotary Club. If I take an opportunity to visit any or a couple of our Lions Club, what is my first impression there? What is the moment of truth? Compared to if I do similar visits to other sister clubs like the Rotary clubs. So for me, if we don't do so, I begin to say it will take the very, very die-hard people to stay when we get new membership. Other than that, they come in once or they visit us as prospectives, very people who express interest, given what we've put across our social media platforms and other things, but not. So this is where I think I want to encourage. I don't know where to start from. Maybe starting from here, how can we coordinate very well with the districts so that maybe a certain policy or framework is put in place? Evaluate every club presently based upon its strength, not necessarily based upon what has been reported. Like today, they've presented a zone report to our zone chair, which might be forwarded to the district. Can we validate those things? Maybe independently out of the club and really know where we have clubs that have submitted reports and there's no one CD in the bank account. It's like we are more of pay as you go. There's nothing to invest. So if anything happens tomorrow, then the whole club is down. I think those are the things we need to pick from all these reports being submitted, instead of just now setting a quota that, look, at the end of the year, we want a net add of 100. After a real assessment, you realize that it's a wishful list to have a net add of 100, but actually the fact on the ground will give us at most 80. But how do we work to attain the 80? Then maybe on quarterly basis, we measure and see whether we are improving or not. Other than that, at the end of every service year, we'll put very laudable goals. At the end of the year, we'll not attain them, either because people are coming in and we are dropping. And of course, if I take my particular club as an example, I keep screaming all the time because it seems a few people who happen to dip their hands deep into their pocket to satisfy all their responsibility, they use same to spread over, because the district will not bill us per individuals, but the club. So if I submit a 50 membership list, as a president, I have to go and find money hook by crook to pay. So that's where administrative money, project money, everything becomes any money available for us to pay. People are even doing extra to pay. Then the next time there's fatigue. They don't end up doing the supporting again, because about, let's say, 40% of the people are carrying the load of the other 60 on their head, which I don't think is helping us. So we'll be putting the targets there. We'll not be meeting the targets. Yes, new people will be coming. However, some old people will be dropped all the time. And the other impact of it is that you don't have retention. You don't have that.
Please run up in 1 minute.
Okay, so to run up, we need a certain succession plan, and we need to look inward to plan accordingly, rather than putting the targets there and making it a wishful list, rather than managing our expectation and working towards to achieve that and better. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. for your great submission.
Lion Zone Chair.
Yes.
Lion Tio has his hand up.
All right, Lion Tio, please.
Thank you, Lion Chair. I'm not too sure that we are zooming into AOBs now. If not, I'll make my first one very quick.
You can add it.
Hello?
And we can, when we get to that term, we can just finish up and then go. So you can say it.
Yeah, I checked and realized that I'm the only person from my club. So on behalf of my club, we want to extend our heartfelt congratulations to Lion Kwesi Ampedu Kisi for his elevation to the high office. In fact, we were wondering, I was wondering who would emerge, but I think he coming on board at this crucial time sort of waters down every tension that ordinarily may have existed before now. So we want to extend our congratulations to him. The second one would be to Lion Zone Chair, as this is an official platform, so I think it's appropriate time for me to share this comment or concern. There was an issue before this time, which as a club we feel that the concerns have not been addressed. We wrote officially to the governor and also copied you as zone chairman. Today we don't have any response. If I know on the side we've had a number of conversations, but it is important that as a zone, because the issue came up as a zone issue. So from the cabinet point of view, I would have wished Land District Cabinet Secretary stayed a little more longer for me to ask a question because of the district governor, so that if he had any response on this question.
Okay, thank you very much, Lion Tio. I think he's not, I don't know, we'll try and get him on board when you get him, but for now, you just say the response has not been, you've not received any response. I have not received any response from the district for now, but then if anything comes up, we'll definitely let you know. But if you're able to get hold of Lion Bernard Yankee, we would ask him this question.
Lion Zone Chair, Lion Bernard Yankee has his hand up.
Okay, can we get him to respond to this quickly?
Lion Yankee, you have the floor.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, Lion Yankee, please, you have the floor.
Yeah, I think what's his name? Lion Tio should. I heard my name. The other zone meetings, I will just mute and unmute and contribute. But here, it's difficult for me to always come on it. So, Lion Tio should repeat the information that he wants from the districts. He asked a question.
Let me just summarize for you. I think what he's saying is that I hear that there was a letter that was sent to the district in respect of, but there has been no acknowledgement from the district, and there has been no letter.
In respect of what?
I think let me just be sure. Last year, Lion Tio.
He has gone off.
Wow.
In respect of.
I think it's well. I think it has to do with he's called me to talk to me about that. It has to do with the letter from Lion Deborah also answer in respect of certain parts of the report from the Nominating and Election Committee, which he wrote to the district. And then, according to Lion the club is saying there has been no response from the district, not even an acknowledgement from the district. And they wanted to know what the district's position on the letter that was sent. Yes. Hello, La Bernard. Hello. Is La Bernard still there? Can you unmute him, please?
He's unmuted.
La Yankee, can you respond to that so we can move on? Or if there's no response, then we can tackle that matter. We've gone past our time.
Okay, Lion Kodia.
Lion Bernard.
No, yes, I'm still on it.
Okay, all right.
The second DJ let call me. He said there's a letter from Lion Deborah.
Yes.
Which was addressed to the DG.
Right.
In fact, it addressed to the DG and copied the nomination election committee.
Right.
So as far as I'm concerned, there's a response to that from the nomination and elections committee, which was signed by the secretary, Lam Abetapia, and it has gone as it came. We don't have any report to the club. The club, we did not have any, letter did not come from the club. The letter came from Lion Deborah to DG complaining about, so if the club is if the Lion Deborah copied the club, his club, when he was sending the letter, then he should as well serve the club with the copy that came. Okay.
Did the copy come? So did the copy come from? This is what, or it came from the nomination election committee.
Yes, it came from. It's a personal letter. It's a personal letter from Lion Deborah.
Okay.
That was addressed to the DG and copied the nomination and election committee. And the nomination is about the nomination and election committee.
Okay.
Apparently, they invited him to come for a vetting, and he sat in his house.
To the nitty-gritties of that, we just a response from.
Yes, so the response has gone. They have also responded to him. Just the route that he brought it through. So his club should demand a copy of what was brought to him.
Okay, all right. That's all. I think we should bring this matter to a close. Line team is who raised it. It's not on now, so we should bring this matter to a close. Thank you very much for your information, Lion Bernard also Yankee. We are grateful.
Okay.
All right. So, any more questions, Lion Artists, from the people on board that we have not addressed?
That was in check.
Hands raised.
Christopher's hands is raised. I don't know what he wants to ask.
Let's listen to him quickly, and then we can try and bring this thing to a close. We are delaying. Can we find out whose hands is up and what he has to say, please?
Hello, Lion Zone Chair.
Yes, Lion Christopher Papakundia, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. I would like to add my voice to my other colleagues who have congratulated Lion Ampadu Kissi for his new appointment. Indeed, this is the second time that in a row that Accra Metro has had zone chairs come from the club. So we are very grateful as a club to the district, and then we wish Lion Ampadu Kissi very well in his new role, and we'll collaborate and work with him very well for a successful new Lion service here. So Godspeed, Lion Zone Chair Ampadu Kissi. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. So I think we are done with questions and answers now. Let me just do the closing remarks and then we can bring this to a close. So what have we learned today? Our second vice district governor-elect took us through ensuring a smooth transition, and it took us through an overview of the standard club structure, reporting incoming officers to my LCR after we have. I noticed during my time that some of the clubs, instead of doing election, they appointed. The Constitution does not talk about appointment. The Constitution talks about the election. So please, the clubs must do an election to elect its officers. So after they've elected their officers, they need to report them to my LCI, and then reports that are supposed to be given to incoming officers include the service activity reports, the membership goal status, the leadership goal status, the disputes, if any, and their status, the audited accounts. And then, of course, he also talked about the training and resources required for incoming officers. And he spoke about the swearing-in ceremony. He also spoke about the club officers training. And then he spoke about the ABC of Lionism, which he said he has put together a write-up in that. A, from his point of view, was about appreciation, and he was not happy with the fact that we didn't appreciate him on the third day. And then B, longing. He went further to talk about friendships, the buddy system, networking for jobs, which is very critical. Something we are not doing so well, networking. I think we need to take note of that. And then C talks about commitment, prompt payment of dues, and all that. So that was for the first talk, ensuring smooth transition. And then we went on to talk about Club Excellence Award, the criteria for application. I believe the deadline for applying for the 2019-2020 Club Excellence Award is in August 2020. And so the clubs that qualify, please ensure that you take advantage of it. I mean, going forward, I would advise Lion Pedikisi to use the Club Excellence Award as a standard for all clubs, so that all clubs should try and attain the Club Excellence Awards. You have 6 clubs now. We expect that by the time your term is over, inshallah, you add 2 more clubs. And then let me just say that, let me appreciate a few people who have worked with me throughout my term. And I would want to urge these people to also offer their time, their treasure, and their talent to support Lion and Pedikisi during this time. The first person I want to show appreciation to and thank is my friend Lion Seyram Freddy Ahiabo, who has been my zone secretary at a very tight body. He supported me through everything that we've done. I appreciate you very much, Lion Seyram. And Lion Albert Apia, who is also a towering block in the zone. Most of the things we do, we can stay all night and discuss issues about the zone. And most of the things we see us do, he comes in to support very much. And so Lion Apia, you are a star. I appreciate you so much, and I expect that you will. Lion Albert Duncan Apia is from Accra Golding, and I expect that you would extend those support to Lion Pedikisi as well. Let me also show appreciation to Lion Ernest Okine from Tema Greenwich. Lion Ernest Okine was supposed to be the president of Tema Greenwich, was the vice president of Tema Greenwich, and was expected to ascend to the president. I don't know what happened, but he has been very helpful in organizing our zone meetings, all our zone meetings, the first one, the second one, indeed, the third one. Lion Ernest, we appreciate you. God bless you so much. Thank you. Lion Christopher Papako, our zone treasurer, all the money matters. He was handling this for us. We are grateful for your time, Lion Kondia. Finally, let me also say thank you to all my club presidents, those who submitted report on time and those who did not submit report on time. I appreciate your time. It's not easy to lead a club. And so thank you very much for your time. And also to all my zone chair, finally to all my zone officers, Lion Tio, Lion Frank Kofi Aibo, for all your support to us during my term. I want to urge every one of you to support Lion and Pedikisi during his term, so that Zone 2. In fact, we started the year as the zone with the highest number of members, and also members for the clubs, and also for Leos. But right now we are second. Zone 3 has passed us in terms of numbers. Let me also mention our indefatigable marketing communications chairperson, who has also put together this online Zoom meeting that we are handling, Lion Ati. In fact, he has lost about 31 kilos. I don't know if I'm not sure to see him the next time I see him. Lion Nehemiah, you are a star. He put together everything we do, and he's also from Accra Golden. That's a world-class club. And so I want to thank you all for your time. It's been a fantastic year, and I'm sure I may have another role to play as we go on in the districts, and then I'll have time to meet all of you again and then share the wonderful thoughts that I have with you all as we move forward. Can I have La Pia, you've not spoken at all. Can I have you to say something small as AOB, then we can move on?
Lions Zone Chair, I think the issue that we have to work behind the scenes to get the meeting going on and being very successful and putting everybody online. And that is, for me, is a plus for the zone. Unfortunately, we are talking about 100 attendees. And I must tell the zone that we have to pay for this Zoom webinar because we really want an interruption of the free facility. And we pay for 100 participants, and we are getting less than about 40 participants on it, which means that we have lost revenue. And we encourage that once that thing comes up and we invest our resources into it, everybody will jump on board and let it become worthwhile investing into it. I want to say welcome to our new zone chairperson, my senior brother, Lion Pedikisi. And I assure him he can always call on me anytime, any day, anywhere, and I'll be there to give my best to the zone for the growth of Lionism in Ghana. Thank you, Zone Chair.
And thank you very much, Lion. Can we have two people move for this meeting to come to a close, and then we can bring it to a close, please? Those panelists, can somebody move and somebody second?
No,
Lion Yankee's hand is up.
Ah, he's back. Okay.
Timmy, no. You didn't mention Timmy, and I wanted to draw attention to
All right.
So, you think you can run away? This is the last one, you know.
We would try. I mean, since 100 people can meet together, we would try and organize something in the coming days for the zone. Well, you will also get opportunity to meet the people he'll be working with. We'll try and do that. Let me also say that quickly. As
officially introduce Lion and Pedikisi.
Say it again.
So that you can also use it to officially introduce Lion and Pedikisi.
We will do that.
So you have to have a party in your house.
No. Let me, Bernard, when is the next cabinet meeting happening?
Next Saturday, a week today.
Okay, and then when is the investiture?
27th is the installation and swearing in of the cabinet.
Okay, and when is the of the second?
Okay, let me mention
district governor elect.
20th is the cabinet meeting. 27th is the installation and swearing in of the next cabinet.
Okay.
So all we held at Irata Hotel, and for the installation and swearing in of the new cabinet, the number is 100, and the letter will come out tomorrow. For the clubs are to bring only one, only the president.
Okay.
The cabinet has a number, Council of Elders has number, so the number is up to 100. I think I take through some people like I take through the convention chairperson has been because they will I think we coordinate the tech side, and then we want to also give the picture things to Manuel. So this all add up to 100. So if you have not been invited and you come, you get cash. Lounge Zone chair.
Okay. If you are what?
If you have not been invited and you come, you get cash because we are working with 100 people.
Okay, that's fine. All right.
Yeah.
Point well noted. All right. Now, can we move? Can I have two people, two lions, move for the adjournment of this meeting? Adjournment to adjournment. Lion Chris.
Their hands up, so I'm giving them the opportunity. Maybe one of them will move.
Okay, all right.
Do I have the floor?
You do, please.
Lion's Zone Chair, in the absence of any further deliberation, I, Lion Frank Kofi Ivo, Accra Golden, move for the adjournment of this zone meeting to the next one.
Seconded by
Lion Jumel.
I, Lion Jumel Erazu Basau of Tamagreenwich Lions Club, seconds the motion. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So this zone meeting therefore stands adjourned. The next zone meeting, our first zone meeting will be held within 90 days. Somewhere, I'm sure it'll be somewhere between August and September. Lion Predicisi will come out with the date. And that will be the first zone meeting within the first, within the next Lions service. This meeting therefore stands adjourned to the next zone meeting of the journal. I want to thank everyone for his time, for spending close to like 5 hours or 4 hours from around 8 up to this time. I'm grateful for your time.